got you.
If you don't fuck with me, don't do what I do. Think you the one, but he really the two. Better get low when I hit at your crew. I'm sending the cleaners through. I'm barely not sober, they thinking it's over. You niggas ain't seen my move. They set me down like I went out of space, now I gotta go back to the moon. Nigga right back on the shrooms. Nigga get that like it ain't nothing to lose. 2 months I'm back on the move. Right back in the club, throwing rest in the pool. I'm about to start acting a fool. It's just you and me, and you know who I choose. You know this what happen, you can cut all the cool. I'm talking to me and not you. I missed out on millions and millions, that money is gone. Ain't getting no compensation, ain't no conversation for niggas, we ready to roll. Let's get back to the basic, main reason they fake it, cause I done been fucking they hoes. Only reason you said it, cause the niggas said it, you sucking the dick in the toes. You get caught, gotta know how it go, cause this shit can get triggered for sure. Rich enough to get put in a hole. Got a crew, but I've been all alone. I've been driving the car from the back, taking pictures of pieces in back of the roads. And I think the little boy wanna cook, so let's crank up the beef and get back to the shows. In Miami, we BP the boat. Put the bulletproof back on the road. In a minute, it's been so long. Ever wonder that I was doing wrong? I'll say, hold up, I'm switching up the tone. Me, you niggas can see me with a song. If a nigga didn't never see me, probably when he be rapping all alone. He young gunner didn't get a season. You niggas will never put it on. I can stop, I gave what was needed. Yeah, I know y'all won't wanna put me on. Keep it cool, but they got me heated. And I'm about to show 'em how it go. Like a river, I show 'em how it flow. After showing, they know I'm my MO. If you don't go with me, don't do what I do. Think you the one, but he really the two. Better get low when I hit at your crew. I'm sending the cleaners through. I'm barely not sober, they thinking it's over. You niggas ain't seen my move. They set me down like I went out of space, now I gotta go back to the moon. Nigga back over the trees. Niggas still rolling, we back on the E. I'm still having soldiers to handle the need. The vengeance is giving them ease. You talking that ratchet with all of that cheese. We having some lemons to squeeze. I let you be and do whatever I please. You know she do good on her knees. I finally discovered the breed. I'm glad I can see I'm the one they discussing. It ain't about the money you got me discussing. You like it, then he gotta love it. He hope I suit down just to get up and close to a nigga, cause I'm up above it. My homie keep begging to clean up a couple of niggas, but I ain't really budging. Gotta watch for the loss, so I really can't talk to you niggas. But fuck it. I'm a real boss and I gotta be cautious, cause niggas don't keep it 100. It ain't my fault that I had to fall out with you niggas, but fuck it. Ain't having time to be tongue. Wrestling with niggas, come see me in public. You can't be trusted, you gotta watch out for you people. Cause shit it get ugly and you could be lucky if you could look out for your people. When you ain't had nothing and try to make something, we looking through hate for a needle. When you ever fall down in your back, hit the ground, better pray to the God you don't need them. Yeah. If you don't go with me, don't do what I do. Think you the one, but he really the two. Better get low when I hit at your crew. I'm sending the cleaners through. I'm barely not sober, they thinking it's over. You niggas ain't seen my move. They set me down like I went out of space, now I gotta go back to the moon.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Friday, episode 549 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs, Jovan, and we're joined by Trent today as well for a BTL Friday Megalodon ep. How are you two gents doing? I'm feeling pretty fucking good after a squad ride W yesterday. Long overdue.
Much needed.
Long overdue. Thank God. Yeah, let's just clap it up a little bit. We fucking needed that. We needed a squad ride W for the vibes, for my own mental health. We got one. We saw one through the hoop. Now we move, and let's find some winners for today, gents. Trent, how about the Mariners beating the Yankees last night? Did you get involved in that play?
Super proud of you, Krabs. I can't say I did because I was heavily invested on football, but proud of you.
All right, well, we're back on the squad ride W train, so don't be surprised if we rip off a couple more wins here, Trent. Feel free to get involved, although I understand why you had to cut yourself off for some squad ride tails, auto tailing after the last two.
I will say, Billiam Gates, I believe, just gave a 10U sub whaler dedicated to Krabs.
Let's go, Bill Gates. Atta baby. Come on, Bill Gates. What's up, Ken? W's, my man. Vibes are up on a Friday. Let's have an absolute fucking day today, gents. And we can start out by gassing up this Mariners squad ride. Jovan, great call yesterday, fading the Yankees. That one just hit different, my man.
They were literally hammered. Still hammered. Oh, wow.
Looks like we got a special delivery coming in here.
Touchdown.
Wow. Some Bookit hats coming in, fresh off the presses.
So little cream guys here.
Dude, these are fresh. Check these puppies out, chat.
They all came, chat. They're all here.
They're all fucking here. This one's fire, dude.
I like that one. That one's fire as ma, dude. I'm in on that.
Wow.
There goes Rev with the get nice comments. Shirley.
Let's fucking
Those
go.
are fire,
Come on,
Huge.
chats. We got hats. We got squad ride W's. We got weekend previews today. We have a BTL Megalodon app. Life is good. All right, let's fucking lock in. We'll go over the W recaps as well from yesterday. Jovan, you absolutely killed it. Great day. I believe you went 4-1.
Needed one.
Talk your talk.
Needed one.
Yep.
Reset, shit square. Everything else was needed that after a couple shit days.
Yep.
We got back in some green.
Sure. My plays yesterday sucked, but we got the squad ride W. That's all that fucking matters.
Right.
We move. Not going to harp on the other losers.
You've carried the sharp port last couple days. You earned one.
Fuck Ramondre, dude.
Yeah, Ramondre, I mean, that guy was useless yesterday. Trent, how many fantasy points did he get for you and your team yesterday? How many points?
0.4.
0.4? Sure. Okay, that's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And Mike Evans, Jovan, squeaked at the end there. W's.
Mike Williams.
Let's fucking go. Mike Williams. W's. Great call there.
We got Aries with 5 U's and T Carnes.
Let's go, Aries.
Let's go.
T Carnes. Come on. Let's go, boys. Michael made it. Sure.
What happened there with App State?
Yeah, I'm happy you asked. That was a moose shit bet. That team stinks. I take full responsibility. I take blame for Rabs 2-piece as well because he was in the same boat as me. Too scared to take the Jets on the spread. Got too cute taking 2 favorites together. Not the move. Terrible play. South Alabama. They came to fucking play. They showed up. Yeah, they were kind of nice.
They might win the Natty.
They might win the Sun Belts, all jokes aside. Maybe Natty, I don't know. Maybe they make the playoffs. But, God, that South Alabama team showed up and they destroyed App State, who never had a chance. That was a terrible play.
2 things real quick. I'll put that one on Rav more than I do Krabs. And don't want to forget that Flatwoods fella also gave out a 5U sub whaler.
Flatwoods. Let's fucking go, Flatwoods. W updates Trent. I don't have the Twitch pulled up, so I appreciate you shouting out the goats, dropping subbies right now. Love to see that. The people are active. They're up and moving today. They want some winners for the weekend. They want some winners for today. Why don't we cut the shit and hop right into it, gentlemen? Why don't we get to the early play for today in the MLB slate, and then we'll get to the sharp reports. Do you guys have any plays, angles, reads in Trevor Williams returning to the mound for the Nationals against Joshy's Cubs?
Ooh. Maybe this is a good time for a Josh Nugget.
Yes.
Dude, you don't want a Josh Nugget in baseball. I promise you that.
You really don't, dude. Trust me.
You really don't.
All right.
You really don't.
We have 5U subbers from Aloha Bats.
Let's go Aloha. Speaking of Aloha Bets, might have to take Hawaii for the late game tomorrow night as a favorite. I don't think that made my card, but it was honorable mention. We'll talk about it. W Aloha Bats.
Love that.
Nats Cubs. Looks like Trevor Williams. They're dusting him off and bringing him back for the last week or 2 of the season. Makes no sense to me, but the guy has not pitched in months. It's been forever. Although let's not forget how fucking good he was in the beginning of the season. I'm not expecting him to go out there and pitch, lights out and great on the road in his first shot back. There's going to be some rust. He's a veteran. We've seen it, pretty much all season towards the beginning of the year, especially with these veterans coming back from injuries or getting a late start to the season on a new team. It doesn't typically work out for these veteran arms. And I think Trevor Williams probably going to struggle a little bit today. And then the Nats, their bats are still active up and moving. I think they get the Talion, a.k.a. Trent, on the bump and put up some runs themselves. The total in this game moved from 8.5 to 9.5. We saw some runs yesterday. I think the bats stay hot, and these 2 starting veteran pitchers struggle immensely in this early game today. Give me runs. Give me the over. I'm on the over 9.5.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I think that's the game could be pretty similar to yesterday.
Is that good? The graphic?
Yeah,
Perfect.
It's good. It's good.
Perfect.
SBR with a 5U whaler.
Let's
Go
go
SBR.
SBRs. Sure. Let's fucking go SBR. He's bricked up about his Tigers.
We're at
Staying active, right?
level 7 yacht.
Wow. Let's keep that thing moving and grooving, chat. Love to see it. Vibes are up on a Friday afternoon. W's. All right. We're going to give you guys some winners for today. And yeah, my first play, like we just went over, the Nats and the Cubs over 9.5. My first play of the day, if you guys are looking for some early action, that one starts up in a little bit over an hour. Okay. Thoughts on that over, gents?
Yeah, I don't mind that over. This game feels, I know it's not Patrick Corbin, so maybe a little different, but game feels like it's going to play out pretty similar to yesterday. Maybe a little different that it's the Friday Wrigley Day game, but yeah. I have no issues, Krabs.
Runs in this early game. I'm all over it. All right. Bless Trevor Williams' heart. He's been great so far for the Nats this season, but has not pitched in a while. He's going to struggle making his return to the mound on the road. W's. That's my first play. We can keep moving and grooving here, gents. Why don't we go to Jovan's first straight bet for today and keep moving and grooving?
Well, do we want to go? I think my first one is San Jose State.
Sure.
So you want to stay on the diamond first and then take it later?
Whatever you prefer.
We'll stay on the diamond. Everybody knew I had to fade. I had to have some sort of Diamondbacks fade in there. But truthfully, just from a game level bet, this is a crucial game, obviously, for the Gallon Goat Whale. But I think the D-backs bats show up more than anything. So if we're just talking about this game, this is honestly more of a fade of Colin Rea and whatever the Brewers are going to do pitching staff-wise than anything. I think Gallon gives up a couple. Obviously, he just saw this team in his last start. They finally started getting to him like second and third time around. So I think he gives up a couple. I hope that's the case. But I think the D-backs bats show up quite a bit too. This total like briefly came down to 8, and now it's shot back up, and the line's moving towards the Brewers. So I hope Gallon gets mucked. I think he's going to give up a couple, but I do think the D-backs bats are in a better spot than anything. So I am legally required to invest in the over, of course.
So tell the people what you pretty much need to happen today.
So ideally, I want 3+ runs from the Brewers off of Gallon, because his next start, it may change because he's scheduled to start against the Giants for his last start of the season now. They have a pretty crucial series against the Padres right after that. So they could flip it around. So they're pitching one of their best pitchers or their best pitcher against the Padres because they need it. But if he's pitching against the Giants, I really want nothing to do with that because they're fucking meat. So 3+ runs, and I will not, in all likelihood, have to worry about that Giants start. So that's what I need, Krabs.
Okay. All right. Rumor has it we might be firing up a sweats for this game later tonight.
Rumors are saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your full Brewers uniform ready?
Full Brewers uni. I'm ready. I'm tapped.
Baseball pants, belt, and all.
I wish I had all that, but just the Willie Adames jersey.
Okay. Well, we are all massive Brew Crew fans tonight. I know I tailed your goat whale for $500 to win $5K, and it's not cashed yet. We still have some work to be done, Jovan. But that sweats tonight. It's going to be electric, and we'll be able to watch and sweat out some football as well.
Yeah, it'll be a big time night.
Sweats tonight, chat. Be there, be fucking square.
Yeah.
Okay, go out tomorrow. Have a good time tomorrow. Yeah, I know you guys have had a tough week of work, right? You're probably stressed. You're probably tired. Chill out tonight. Lock in your winners for the weekend. Maybe go back and rewatch BTL to lock in your winners, and join us on sweats tonight. And then go out tomorrow, hit the clubs. All right. Tonight, we find winners. We lock in and we sweat. Okay. Trent, you got to play for us today, my man. What are you liking?
Going right, Hawk Tua.
Did
the Grom on Friday night. Give me the Rangers money line at home against the Mariners. Same matchup. They should have won last time. Walked it off because of a Julio gag late in the game. Give me DeGrom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And right. I was not aware of this Battle of Berg that we've got going on in this fucking game on the bottom.
Yeah.
We got a Battle of Berg.
Battle of Berg, dude.
Was not aware.
Battle of Berg.
We'll get there. Take us. I mean, I don't know what you're gonna have to say about the Astros -1.5.
What sell jobs could you possibly have for the Astros?
Take us that other ratchet bet you got on that.
God.
It's Verlander at home against the Rat Meat Angels. The Stros, they've been playing horrendous ball against below 500 teams, but they somehow, some way are able to have the Angels number. And this is a crucial start for Verlander as we creep into the playoffs. We know he's been dog shit this year, but he's coming off a pretty solid start in his last one. And he's starting to get in his groove. And I expect the Astros to get on top of Tyler Anderson tonight, similar to how they did the previous start. I think this exact matchup was last week, like not even 7 days ago. Mm-hmm. And the Stros been playing great, and we got to see him win by 2 tonight. They clutched up last night. The only dude who wants it in this fucking lineup is John Singleton. Did his job, but we're 2-stepping with the Rangers and Stros here.
Well, the Astros have won 4 straight games against the Angels, so you're right. They do own them. They have not covered or not won by 2 since back in June. Early June.
Against the Angels?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Since then, they've ripped off 4 straight wins, 4 straight covers. We'll see if they can make it 5 in a row.
Yep.
Okay. I like it. I mean, look, it's the end of the season here. The Angels have 0 to play for. You got guys like Rendon involved in the organization. You think they're fucking getting these guys hyped up and ready to play, game 155 when they're one of the worst teams in baseball? Give me a fucking break. Most toxic organization out there, out West Coast. I think it's got to be the Astros. At least they, are playing for something. And Verlander, like you said, has not been super sharp this season. He's been in and out of the rotation with injuries. He's old as shit. He needs to prove to himself and the Astros that he's ready to roll for postseason time coming up here in a few weeks.
Yeah, I would have made the under a max if it was anybody but Verlander.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. And fading Tyler Anderson's kind of weird, kind of sketch, but see how it plays out. I mean, they're catching 40 cents of steam. The Astros are in the spot, so they should take care of business. Let's hope they do it by 2. Okay. Jovan, you got another play for us before we get to college footballs?
Well, I have another college football play.
Sure, let's hear it.
I mean, we can save Berg for a second, but I like Syracuse -8, 8.5, whatever you can get against Stanford. So a game that, I mean, if anybody paid attention to the start of the season, this was another Friday night game where Stanford was playing TCU. They were at home in that one, and it felt like a very similar game, or this feels like a very similar game. So I don't think it's going to play out quite the same way, even though Stanford covered that game against TCU, didn't really deserve to. They got the late field goal, whatever. But now the Syracuse team looks good, and the reason that Stanford covered against TCU in that game, first of all, I mean, TCU had a lot of ridiculous penalties on defense. The run defense was weak, which Ashton Daniels was Lamar, and he was able to exploit. And then TCU really wasn't throwing the ball as much as they should have at really the start of the game, and that's how you attack like a weak Stanford secondary. Kyle McCord's been really good. This offense has been really good, especially when he's not pressured. The Stanford D-line is terrible, and that was the only reason TCU had any semblance of running the ball, and that's why they thought that they could just book of chew down the field. So coming off a bye week, both these teams are, not just Syracuse, but I feel like they're going to have a really good game plan to attack that really weak defense pretty much in every fashion. But the secondary is awful. McCord's going to have a game. LaQuinn Allen's going to do whatever he wants with that D-line. I just feel like this is a mucking, especially going cross-country. I know they're off a bye week, but it doesn't really help.
Yeah, the only thing I don't love is that Syracuse is still undefeated and coming off that outright win in their last game. But Syracuse is one of those teams in the ACC that got no respect preseason. They have plenty of NIL money. Their program is going to continue to get better. They bring in guys like McCord and a couple other transfers. The Syracuse team is much, much better than what we remember from years past, right? They probably do win and roll here, and Stanford going across the country is never an ideal spot, and they're coming off a massive win as well. And Syracuse is getting some line respect. I mean, it's not like Syracuse before the season was getting any respect really at all. Now they're laying 8.5 against a mid Stanford team coming in. It probably is Syracuse, and they're probably going to hand the ball off to LaQuinn Allen 30 times.
I mean, once they get up, yeah. But I mean, I feel like this has to be a McCord game with how bad that secondary is. Yeah, and I mean, I'm first to hand up to say, I mean, LaQuinn Allen's doing great as we expected, but I didn't expect this from Kyle McCord. I don't think anybody did. He looks great, and that secondary is absolutely pitiful. So, I mean, I think early he can do whatever he wants, and once we get into blowout territory, hopefully that's LaQuinn Allen time.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about Kyle McCord a little bit later. Okay.
Some people are saying Kyle McCord made Marvin Harrison Jr. good.
Wow.
It's a crazy
I've heard
statement.
that.
Those people probably shouldn't be saying that, but I've heard crazier things, right?
No.
Huh.
For sure.
That could be worst statement of year.
Madul in chat says he's got a CFL lock tonight. I know it's been a minute, but it's hitting. Madul, I would love just a quick spark note sell job in the chat. 1 or 2 lines. What's going on with it? What's the play? Fill us in, my man.
Somebody gift Bobby McMahon a fucking sub.
Can we get him one? 9 ads. Thanks, Trent.
Ish. Sub up, bro.
Sure. All right, let's keep moving and grooving here. We'll go to my next play. What do I have up on the sharp report for the people?
What do you got?
What do I got for the people? Oh, how about Jovan squad? First 5, get in, get out in a meaningless game. Look, the line in this game is fucking weird. Barrios is getting mad disrespect after he's been really, really solid of late. He's got a sketchy 2.5 run square up on PrizePicks that we're going to talk about in a little bit. That is extremely red against a Rays team that, what the heck do they have to play for? They're 3 games under 500. They're not doing shit. Their season's over. But this Rays team, they just don't quit. They still play solid baseball. And even with them pretty much being eliminated mathematically, they've won 2 of their last 3 games. And they just won that series at home against Boston. Who's to say they can't beat Toronto coming into town? We know Barrios has weird splits, right? Home and away. I think it's got to be Alexander in that 6 ERA, Jovan, catching some steam up from a dog to a favorite against Barrios, who's been nails recently, right? I don't want to involve the bullpens. I want to fade Barrios in that earn run square on PrizePicks, and I want to back Alexander, who has the same square out, but it's a fucking demon, and he's been giving up runs, which is super weird. It should be flipped. It should be Barrios is the demon, and Alexander's the normal square, but it's not. So I'm going first 5, get in, get out. So I don't want to be involved, in the end of this game when the bullpens are getting active. Not at all. 0.
Should though, Krabs. That's the thing. That's the tweak because
the
Rays bullpen is lights out and the Jays bullpen is horrendous.
Yeah, but end of the season, but these guys aren't making the playoffs. Like, what do these guys have to fucking get up for coming out of the pen?
I mean, the Rays guys are all no names. It's like they're fighting for their careers.
Yeah,
and they're lights out. And to be fair, I'll tell you this too. If this makes you feel any different, Tyler Alexander, I think he 2 starts. He pitched out of the bullpen or in like a shortened start last time he faced the Jays. Time before that was when he had the no-hitter going into the 7th or going into the 8th.
Bullshit.
But Barrios also owns the Rays for what it's worth. So it's a really weird give and take game.
Okay. Yeah, just the weirdest square on PrizePicks today has to be that Barrios 2.5 run runs. That's extremely red.
That's what I can certainly get involved in because he pitches well against the Rays. Seeing that up is weird.
Well, hopefully they're not giving people a free demon on PrizePicks with that 2.5 run runs for Alexander. If they are, I'll charge it to the game. But for now, I'm sticking with my bet here. I still don't want to involve the bullpens. I'm going to go first 5, get in, get out, and I'm going to back Alexander as a favorite against Barrios.
Sure.
And there is W push potential here as well with the first 5 I'm out.
Raise up.
Okay. Dubs.
Can we go to Berg?
Yeah, you want to swing it back around here? I'll go ahead and go over some fucking San Jose State plus 12.5 action.
I've got them. You've got them, and you got Trent on the other side.
Perfect.
And Berg.
Holy fat girls with a 10U subber.
Wow.
And Ari's gifting a sub whale to Maddle, and Aloha gifting one to Rito and Bobby McMahon.
Let's go.
Wow, let's go. W's, gents. W support today. W vibes. Hella subbies coming in on a PTL Friday. You guys are fucking juiced up, ready to hear some winners for tonight, winners for the weekend. We got you covered. All right, stick around, stick with us. Let us know if you guys have any questions in the chat. Keep those W's moving and grooving. All right, let's talk about this college football game tonight that we obviously all 3 have plays in. San Jose State's on the road getting 12.5 points at Wazzu. Both of these teams have overperformed immensely so far this season. If you would have told me that both teams would be 3-0 at this point, I'd probably laugh in your fucking face before the season started. So I was so out on Wazzu. I really did not believe in Coach Ken, leaving Navy, going to start fresh out there out west with San Jose State. But my goodness, both these squads have looked fucking great so far this season. But I want to fade Wazzu. This Wazzu squad who's coming off of back-to-back outright wins as dogs at home in a massive, massive look-ahead spot with a big fucking game on the horizon next weekend. I want to take San Jose State.
Boise State next week.
The Broncos. Wazzu's got the Broncos up next. You think they're worried about San Jose State? Coach Ken coming into town? Come on, that sophomore QB? Probably not. Probably not. I'm going to take the points here. I do think this will be a 10-point game. It'll be close. Not saying Wazzu loses outright, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Jovan, you had a really good point about Coach Ken knowing how to slow down Wazzu's QB rushing attack, right? They might not run the triple option exactly, but they run a ton with their QB. Why do you think Coach Ken has an edge there for San Jose State?
I mean, John Mateer has been great so far this season, and a lot of it's been on the ground, to be honest with you. Like through the first couple weeks, I mean, he's been okay through the passing attack, but like through the air, he hasn't really jumped off the page minus a couple throws. It's been the dual threat ability that's kind of carried him to this point. Who better to stop a rushing quarterback than a guy who's ran the triple option for 90% of his career? And now that he's at San Jose State, I feel like that works absolutely perfectly. So not that I'm not worried about what Wazzu is going to do on offense, but I do think there's a pretty good counter for what they're going to run scheme-wise or what John Mateer and that offense is going to do scheme-wise. And I think they can slow them down enough. But on the other side, like, the San Jose State offense is really good. We didn't expect them to be as good as they've been this year, and a lot of that goes through Nick Nash, obviously. Revenge game for the San Jose State quarterback as well against his former squad, I believe. So I like this spot. I think this is a close game. You couldn't ask for a worse sandwich spot coming off of a emotional Apple Cup victory on the road, but it really wasn't on the road. It was in Seattle, a neutral site, whatever you want to call it. And then leading up to next week, which is a game that could determine if somebody's in the college football playoff picture early in the season or not, as the group of 5 team in Boise State. And I don't know what Washington State technically qualifies as, but huge game, really bad spot. I think they keep it close. Probably going to be a lot of points in this game. I'll take Nick Nash and the boys.
And if you're asking yourself, how the hell is San Jose State going to slow down this Wazzu Russian attack today after we just went over why we think it's going to happen? I mean, look at what happened with San Jose State versus Air Force 2 weeks ago. Air Force pretty much only runs the ball as well. A very, very similar offense. Coach Ken held them to 7 points. 7 piece.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You think I'm worried about San Jose State's fucking rush defense? No, they got the greatest fucking rush defense coach coming over from Navy who's been doing this for years and only fucking plays against teams that run the ball. It's in this dude's DNA. It's ingrained in there at this point. It's got to be San Jose State. It's got to be the Spartans, a team that nobody believed in preseason and selling high on Wazzu, coming off a big win with a massive game against Boise next weekend.
Yep, we're in. Trent, why do you like Wazzu, brother?
Fuck you, Rito.
Let's hear it, Trent.
This team has respected my coin every week so far this season.
They have.
They're a sneak wag, and I don't blame you for fading them in a buy or a high spot here. But I can't back you. San Jose State's fucking terrible. They're really bad. This Wazoo defense is legit. They forced Washington to 3 and outs. I think like the first fucking 7 drives of the game, and that under was free as fuck last week. I was sharp as ma.
That was sharp out of you.
So sharp. So sharp. That shit was book of chewing all game long. So hopefully Wazoo's offense can put up enough points to get past this 12 number, but I expect their defense to really hold them to not even over 14 points. I see this one being a low-scoring affair again. So we're going to need Wazoo's offense to show up tonight, but I'm looking forward to my first ever true battle of the Berg here.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a big-time battle of Berg.
2v1. We'll see how it plays out. Trent, look, man, it's a square bet. I don't love the bet, but square bets hit. We'll see what happens. They still got to play the game. All right? We'll be sweating this puppy out later as well during the Merrill Kelly. Or not Merrill Kelly. Jesus Christ.
Wow. It's crazy. Crazy.
Merrill Kelly's a goat. It's during the Zach Gallen Fade Fest.
Yeah.
On Sweats later. Bless Merrill Kelly's heart. He's one of my favorite pictures in baseball. Can't be a legend. All right, let's keep moving and grooving here. We have gone over the Battle of Berg. You guys want to talk about our PrizePicks squares for today?
Let's talk about those.
Get involved in those puppies. Let's go to me. I've already kind of touched on these, so just quick spark notes, quick recap here. Go ahead and give me Jose Barrios more than 2.5 earned runs allowed this afternoon against the Rays. One of the weirdest PrizePicks squares up there on the board today. I like the Rays first 5. I like the Rays in the game. And I want to fade Barrios, who, like Jovan said, typically owns the Rays. He's getting disrespected on PrizePicks today, and I want to find out why. I'll take that more than 2.5 earned runs in a game where I like some Rays hits and runs. And then at McCord's, Jovan, this is where I might lose you, but that number's crazy high.
Yeah,
298.5.
Got bumped up like 40 yards.
It's gotten bumped up a lot. Yes, it's not a typical Krabby play.
Could be fine in the middle here.
Yeah, it's not a typical Krabby play, but it was a bad number when it opened up. It's all the way up to 300 now. And I mean, the way McCord's been playing this season, I'm not surprised to see it all the way up to 300. The kid's been fucking great. He's proven all those people wrong who said he wasn't the guy at Ohio State, and he's had a great start to the season. But Jovan, I feel like this will be one of those squares where the kid has 175 yards at halftime, maybe even 200. And in the second half, Syracuse is up 10 plus, and they're handing the ball off to LaQuinn Allen the entire rest of the game, killing clock. That's how I see this game playing out. Syracuse gets out to an early lead. Maybe McCord tweaks early. Maybe people start, saying really nasty things on, under my tweets and start chirping it. And then second half, it comes back to life. And we start to see them hand the ball off to their stud running back a bunch, kill that clock. And the square that looked like it was dead at halftime resurrects and comes back to life. I just cannot ignore it. That 298 passing yards, give me a fucking break.
Crazy
this
number.
Is Pat Mahomes?
Crazy number.
No.
W Dodgers Muse in the chat.
Sure. W. Love to see that.
I've got Astros Muse and Dodgers Muse. This is all the time interacting on my shit.
They're tapped in. Ridiculous. All right.
Unbelievable.
Jovan, you got a couple squares for the peeps. What are you liking?
I do. I'll start with a walks allowed square, which I usually don't get too involved in, but with David Peterson, I will. David Peterson, this is a repeat matchup for his last start. So for teams that have already seen him quite a bit, you're going to be seeing him again today, and they have familiarity with this stuff. And he went deep in that game too, which is big because they got to see him for quite a few ABs. It wasn't just the lineup seeing him like 5 innings through. He went deep. So I feel like this time, after seeing what happened last night too, this is going to be times where the Phillies make his life tough and times where they make him get deep into counts. 3-ball counts are going to be very apparent early on. We probably see a bounce back yesterday from the offense as well. So I love them to be super patient today and make him pitch to them, because if you look at what's happened his last couple starts, not just that one, teams are not really making him pitch to him. They're starting to be pretty aggressive on him early on. It's not the approach to take with David Peterson. And now that you're seeing him for a second consecutive start, I feel like that's where you make the adjustment. So I'm very much in on Peterson having a little bit of a tough day. And then not the same as your McCord play, but I am fading a little bit of a bump because I know Nick Nash opened much, much higher. I think he was touching like 120 and he's all the way down to 108. I don't care.
What?
Yeah, ridiculously high number. But
who the fuck is this kid?
He's him.
He's who you think Io Manor is. And he's literally everybody.
Io Manor had one good game, and you think he's what, the next DK Metcalf, Trent? Come on.
Yeah.
This kid is actually good.
This kid is actually him. Yeah. And I think they torched that secondary for Wazzu. The difference between like this game and last, like the Apple Cup game, I really don't think that Washington, correct me if you think otherwise, Krabs, but I don't believe in that offense. I believe in the rushing attack, but Will Rogers has not shown me anything down the field that really gives me any sort of confidence. They have that with Nick Nash. They have a go-to guy. It should be. They have a go-to guy in Nick Nash, and the thing that's so unique about
highlights.
Yeah, the thing that's so unique about Nick Nash is he really, for a number one wide receiver, he doesn't play like on the outside. So it's hard to bracket him. It's hard to push him towards the sideline. He's in the slot a lot, which is why they can get him the ball in space as much as they really want to and why they feed him as often as they do. So against this secondary that I still think is pretty vulnerable, I'm not going to call their defensive stuff fraudulent from the first couple weeks. I just feel like the matchups weren't really there to make me believe that they're this lockdown secondary that we've seen for the first couple weeks of the season. Nick Nash is going to tweak. I feel like you're going to see him get fed early and often. I mean, he's got an 8 reception line. We were talking about that. It's what he does. And I feel like for them to cover this game and be in this game, even if they're in a trailing game skip, great for the square, he's going to get fed.
Do you mind if I watch some highlights for 2 seconds?
Yeah, watch some tape, dude.
I got to watch some tape, dude.
Go check it out.
This guy, is he fucking prime Megatron or like?
Oh, he's pulling it up. Yeah, he is.
What's his deal?
Yeah, he's him.
With plenty of time.
Yeah, get the huddle up and moving.
Across the 50 and
Beast. Bowling ball.
Brown to throw. Good looking throw.
He's like San Jose State's Cooper Kupp, but he's massive and not like a particularly fast guy.
He's their only guy.
Yeah, he's their only guy, dude.
Brown goes the other side of the field. Wide open.
I mean,
we think Wazzu doesn't have a game plan for this kid?
Everybody does.
His comp is St. Brown on the lines.
Yeah, he's like a bigger, more physical Amon-Ra. And everybody has like a game plan for him. The thing is, like, it doesn't work. None
of these classes are like deep down the field.
No.
Yeah, but he's getting 15 yards after the catch.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, you are also watching Kennesaw State highlights. Like, not that he like hasn't done it against actual teams.
He better be breaking.
Probably a really bad example.
Yeah, he better be fucking balling against Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
Come on. All right. Well, Jovan, you got your guy. Hopefully he barely goes more than, and then we see Kyle McCord kind of slow down in the second half.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to barely go more than Krabs. Okay. I mean, if I'm walking into a trap, he's going to get like shut down, which I don't think is going to happen. But I think he goes for 150, 170.
Definitely weird seeing McCord get bumped up that much, and then seeing the stud receiving yards get bumped down so much. But
I just think it's crazy that he was at 120.
Yeah,
I know like what he did last week is cool and all, but like even when he's usually on the board, he's still like at least hovering around like 90, high 90s, low hundreds.
Might have just been a bad number. Okay. All right. Trent, you got a couple squares for the peeps for today. Let's hear them.
Going right back to DeGrom against the Mariners. He should have had 6Ks, 7Ks last time. In his last start against them, got pulled with like 50 pitches. But he had 4Ks in the first inning and a half. So I don't expect anything different tonight. I expect him to go a little bit longer. He's at home, a little more comfortable. But I do want to talk about Jordan bases. I know you guys are probably saying, oh, he picks this every time. My little cousin gave me these same 2 squares, whatever. Jordan statistically owns Tyler Anderson, who's pitching for the Angels today. He's got a 500 xFIP WOBA, chat.
Whoa.
500 what?
I just pulled that out of my ass. Not
you say the name of the stat again?
Not FIP WOBA. X-WOBA. X-WOBA.
X-Fetty Wop. Sure.
He's got 3 bombs against him and a bunch of hits. And I'm pretty sure he went yard against him last week. And we're fucking nuking Jordan bases tonight. He's going yard.
Okay.
He's going yard. We're talking WOBA in September. Adam's got whales. Shows you're not dialed. You're out here taking goddamn. Who sold us yesterday? Orioles pitcher
Zach Eflin.
Yeah, that was a good pick, right?
Dude's been spoon feeding green gobs left and right.
He's bitching about one square. Unbelievable, dude.
The pockets are feeling good. I got an LC balance in the fucking PrizePicks right now.
Let's deploy something for sweats tonight.
Yeah.
I'm trying to nuke a fat entry. I'm talking like fatter than normal. I think it starts with that kid's receiving yards.
Yeah, Calvin.
But I did nuke these. I did nuke these 2 squares with 4 of my weekend squares. But I'm trying to craft something mega surgical for tonight.
Well, I'd be down to do that later on in the stream.
Yeah.
If you want to craft up a 4-man, I'd be down to throw a couple extra units on it, see what happens.
But yeah, people were tripping my plays and forget I went 5-0.
People do forget that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. Good work, Trent. Let's run that back today. Okay, let's go 5-0 again. Although that would be cake for us. Let's go 4-1 today. We can't have him get Wazzu.
Yeah, can't have him get that one.
We cannot have him get Wazzu.
Cannot.
Chat, I did just lock in the over 9.5 -110 in the Nats and Cubs game. If you guys want to get involved in the early day starts, less than an hour, I did lock in that over. I'm involved. I'm invested for 1 unit. All right. Dubs. W sharp reports. You guys want to go over maybe these college football games for tonight? We can take a peep at some of the other ones we didn't really go over that much, like Illinois and Nebraska.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about that game. Jovan, you got any thoughts on Illinois going from what, +8 to +7, 7.5? Depends on what book you're at on the roads.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, initial gut feeling that before even talking about the game in specifics, I mean, we got 2 teams or 2 games that are hanging around that, like, I know it's down now to like 7.5, 8, but hanging around the 8 number just generally in Syracuse and Nebraska. And I can say I think that one team is probably going to cover. You're talking about the Dogs, and I'm on Syracuse. So Illinois, the team that nobody wants, probably out of the 2 Dogs, because I mean they're a ranked team now, probably shouldn't be, but it's a pretty big matchup. Everybody thinks Raul is Patrick Mahomes now because he wants to act like it. He hasn't really been challenged all that much yet, and this is still a tough defense that we've seen time and time again. So, like, I think this is a cover for Illinois, personally. I don't know if I'm confident enough to get involved because I like the other 2 games better, but that's what the gut's telling me. I think Raul may look human for a little bit in this game.
Yeah. I like the under in this game, but I'm staying off of it because we have not seen an over for either of these 2 teams yet this season. So I'll be staying off the under, but I wanted to find a way to fade both these squads. I do lean Illinois on the spreads if I had to take sides. Bless you. But I do like the under in this game as well. I'm just not going to be able to get to the counter because we have not seen an over from either of these teams yet this season. And although they put up some good points offensively, their defenses have been really fucking good so far this season. Can we expect that to continue? I don't know. I'm a little bit sketched out. I like the way the total's moving down. I like the way that Illinois is getting steam from 8 to 7.5, 7. I love that. I'd probably go with Illinois on the spread if I had to play something in this, but I think I'm going to probably stay off. Got enough college football action for tonight with San Jose State. But let's not act like both these teams have not overperformed immensely so far this season. That's why I'm having a tough time putting some coins on this game. I don't know who to fade.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Right?
Really tough one.
It's got to be Illinois. But, Jovan, I haven't seen a lot of Illinois love on the feed, but the splits are pretty public, man. 50% of bets and handle on that spread for Illinois. That's probably enough to keep me off that side as well. I think I'll probably sit back, relax, and just watch that game play out.
Yeah, I'd much rather get invested in the other 2 games, which I am.
All right, and you're liking Syracuse, San Jose State. I'm on San Jose State. Trent is on Wazzu. Any other plays, comments, thoughts, concerns in these 3 college football games tonight from either of you 2 gents?
Not too much from me. I feel like we've talked about a majority of it. All the PrizePicks squares, too. We've talked about. So unless Trent has anything.
For what, tonight?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that Illinois-Nebraska game? You want to give the people a lean?
I feel like I got to have the action in that game.
You might have
to. You might have to. That's a big Trent game.
I don't know, dude. That whole Mahomes shtick is just bizarre.
Bizarre, dude.
It's bizarre. I'm sorry.
Top five corniest things in all sports right now.
It's so whack. I don't know how he comfortably goes out there and does the same shit and thinks it's whack.
So Illinois plus 7.5. Despite that. Got it.
Yeah, we got people on the feed posting fucking alt lines and shit about this game. I might have to just take Illinois, man.
And just go about your day. Yeah. All right.
Is
Fade
there
to Mahomes, mini-me. Get him out
Is
of
there
here.
beef on the feed, chat? What am I missing here?
Beef on feed?
Yeah, I guess people are bitching on feed, dude.
Oh, God.
What's Moz Beef doing on the feed? What are they bitching about?
Bitching. Unbelievable.
All right. Let's lock in. Why don't we go over some college football weekend preview plays for the peeps? Why don't we hop in here and go over some of our favorite college football plays for the weekends, our favorites, underdog, over, under, meet on tape, POD, and then some PrizePicks squares as well. Joshy, let's get to it. Snooze Fest. We'll get started out here with the unders. Get them out of the way before you guys fall asleep in the chat. I'm going with the under team total for Tennessee, under 32.5. This Tennessee team has been fucking unbelievable so far this season, especially their offense. I mean, has there been a better offense or a team that's, pleasantly surprised the viewers with their offense more than Tennessee and the Volunteers so far this season? I mean, they look unstoppable on the offensive side of the ball. They're undefeated. They're ranked 6, but they've got a tough matchup on the road this weekend going to Oklahoma, and I'm not seeing them putting up a 30-piece in this game. I think the Oklahoma defense, who in my opinion has the best defense in that conference, I think Oklahoma stunts and silences this Tennessee offense, at least the most we've seen this season so far, and we see Oklahoma cover this game as well. Wouldn't be surprised if they win the game outright, but I love just fading Tennessee's offense, isolating their team total, coming off of 71 points against Kent State last week. NC State, they dropped a 51 burg against them, and then the first game of the season, they put up a 69-piece against Chattanooga. This offense has been unstoppable. I love the under in this game, one of the bigger games of the day. I'll fade Tennessee when they go take their first tough road trip of the season and that offense and back their team total under.
Wow.
Wait 1 second, Krabs. Got to do this first because we didn't do it. Forgot to tell you on that one, but had to get it up and moving.
Get the juices flowing.
We'll put that one on Trent.
Love that. Yeah,
That was Trent's fault.
Come on, Trent, step up.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the under in this game for Tennessee, gents? I mean, Trent, you're obviously on that under as well, so you got to like it, right?
I love it, Krabs. I wanted to take OU +7. I'm still taking them. Riding with what's his name, fucking Primer.
Yep.
Giving Primer one chance.
Okay. I respect that. He deserves it. He deserves a chance.
But I needed to take an under, so I swapped. But I love the
Okay.
Tennessee fade.
Sure. W's. Jovan, can I get a cosign on that one?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, I think, yesterday when we were going over the stuff. Nobody in the college football world knows Josh Heupel better than Brent Venables. It's like he is going to throw the kitchen sink at Nico. And Nico, it's his first, true road test where he's going to be challenged. And I think this is a game where you see Venables pull out all the stops, exotic blitzes. He's going to be disguising coverages. He's talked about everything that he's going to do in that game, obviously vaguely, so he's not giving away the intense secrets. But yeah, I think Nico struggles early and often, and regardless of what happens in this game, I don't see all that many points or all that many dynamic plays from these offenses, both of them, but Tennessee, of course, too.
Okay. Well, Jovan, tell me about this under in Texas A&M Bowling Green.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one because I was looking at this game because Bowling Green's already had their big, up to play a ranked Power 5 school moment, Power 4 school, whatever. A&M's kind of sitting not in the exact same place as Penn State. Penn State's much better, obviously, but they put up a lot of points, which I think was shocking to a lot of people. Even if they thought they were going to stay in this game, you didn't think they were going to go to Happy Valley and put up 30-plus points in that game and really should have won outright. A couple plays didn't break their way. Now I feel like it's where their offense gets shut down. Going to play A&M, the defense has looked really good, really all season. The big question mark has come from the offense. Like Wigman got hurt coming into last week. He didn't play. The backup looked great, but I think that was more a factor, just like the Miami game with Florida. Florida defense is fucking terrible. That whole team is terrible. The defense can't be on the or is always on the field because the offense can't stay on the field. So I feel like this is where the backup situation come back down to earth too, or we see an injured Wegman, whatever happens. I feel like this is just a classic snooze fest of a game where A&M's offense never really pulls away and their defense locks down Bowling Green, unlike what we saw from Penn State. So give me a little sleepy game for Bowling Green and A&M.
All right. I like that under. I love that sell job. Fading Bowling Green's offense, huh?
Yeah.
They've been kind of solid so far this season.
They have.
At times.
They have.
I'm always down to fade the Aggies offense, though.
Yeah, this feels like a weird game. It's like everybody, I mean, myself included, I got pretty excited as a future ticket holder watching that Florida game, but at some point I had to realize that Florida team, just watching the game, I mean, it was busted coverage after busted coverage. Everybody was wide open. There was no QB spy on the dude who's running like literal Lamar. I mean, nothing was right. It's like Florida sucks. So I don't want to buy into it too much. I feel like this is like a sleepy, I don't know, like 24, 27 point performance from A&M that they win comfortably, but don't give up much in doing it either.
Okay. A nasty under between the newly ranked, once again, Aggies, I believe. I think they're 25th now.
Are they ranked again?
I think they're ranked again.
So classic for them to lay an egg in the spot then.
Yeah, perfect timing to take an under. Yeah, that offense on the road. Okay. Or no, they're home in this game, huh?
Yeah, they're home.
Perfect. All right. I like these unders. Let's move and groove onto some overs for the people and talk about some games we're seeing some points. I picked maybe the worst game of the weekend. These teams fucking suck. Fresno's okay, but New Mexico is actual fucking rat meat. They're terrible. These two teams, they have terrible defenses, especially New Mexico as well. Fresno State comes in off of 2 straight wins after a loss to start their season against Michigan. They put up a 48-piece against New Mexico State last week in their last game, 48-0. They held New Mexico State to 0 points. I think their defense comes in a little fat, happy, and complacent against an even worse team on the road this weekend in New Mexico. And we've seen New Mexico actually put up a couple points. I'm not as worried about their offense. They can score a little bit. I mean, they put up almost 20 against Auburn, almost 40 against Arizona. It's really the New Mexico defense that's a liability. And I think you're going to see Fresno State and Keene, who's a very underrated slinger at QB. The guy makes mistakes, throws picks all the time. That honestly could help us with the over. Depends on the field position. But either way, this Keene kid, he could sling it. The UCF transfer from a couple of years ago, he's solid enough to pick apart this Lobos defense. They're going to have one hell of a time trying to slow down the Bulldogs, who've looked much better in their last couple of games. But I do think Fresno State's defense takes a step back after pitching a shutout last weekend. It's unbelievable. And the Lobos, they can score a little bit. It's their defense that's the issue. So there's a reason why this is one of the highest totals of the weekend. The total is also moving up as well, and the splits are some of the sharpest of the weekend too. Only about 30% of bets and handle on this over. So I think this is a sneaky over spot between two shit teams, but there's a reason that total's so high.
Yeah, New Mexico defense is rad.
Maybe the worst in college football.
Really bad. And they've respected some coin a couple weeks in a couple different games. So
they have.
I'm in for that. I'm going to take a gross over, go to Michigan, go to the big house. Probably, I mean, one of the more obvious looking unders on the board, I guess, when Michigan plays. That's probably going to be the story for the entirety of the season. Alex Orji is going to be starting. No Davis Warren for this game. We talked about this yesterday a little bit too. Say what you want about Orji throwing the ball. He adds a little bit of a dynamic effect to this offense that Davis Warren lacked, frankly. And talk about the Michigan offense. It was rat shit. Like Davis Warren threw 5 picks against Arkansas State of all teams, and their defense is literal Swiss cheese and terrible at every single level. The reason why they did that is because they got into very obvious passing situations, and Davis Warren couldn't throw the ball. They could run the ball fine, though. They've done that all season. And same story with Texas. They weren't in many situations where they could just line them up with Texas. Granted, Texas has a great defensive line, so they put them in that spot too. But they had to come back from behind early. So you put Davis Warren in passing situations like that, what the fuck's going to happen? He's not a good quarterback. Now, I feel like you line him up with USC. Is the defense improved? Yes. Is the defensive line great enough to make me think Michigan is not going to be able to line up and run the ball on them? No, not at all. So with Alex Orji in there, I feel like they're going to be able to run the ball. He can use his own legs too. There's going to be more big plays in this game than people think. Rav is in love with the Wolverines winning this one outright. I've kind of circled around to the idea that they are kind of live in this one. So I do think Michigan puts up some points. I think it's going to be dynamic. And on the other side, USC and Miller Moss, I feel like what he's done in the pocket under pressure is going to be key against Michigan, and he's looked great. So I feel like that's where he thrives. So in this game, doesn't look like there's going to be many points. I want to bet that it sneaks over because I think it does.
Okay. Nasty bet.
I love that over.
Great. But the sell job sure as hell was.
Yeah.
And you're back in offense. You're back in Michigan to do something here when you're putting in the backup QB.
You know what the final tipping point was, Krabs? I was like, all right, there's two in the next couple of days. There's 2 very obvious looking unders. One was last night and one was this. I want to bet that one of them sneaking over because they got that one pretty easily last night.
Sure.
So this is my one.
Okay.
Conch was super sharp last night on that under.
Conch is
Sharp as fuck. Conch is sharp, dude.
We might need to check the fucking data.
Let's see what the Conch says about this Michigan game. Conch,
Yeah.
what's the
Let it ring.
Conch, don't hold back now. Okay, let us know, even if it's a dog. Let us know.
Don't say dog. Don't say dog. Don't say dog. Literally, fuck the Magic Conch, dude. I'm out.
And Underdog.
Said the dog. You meet on table, Trent.
And perfect. I'll tell you what, that fucking Conch has been locked in this season.
Locked, dude.
Absolutely dialed. I don't think it's lost yet.
No.
I don't think it has. Undefeated. All right. Conch is 2-0 on primetime unders. Sure. W, Chad.
W Conch.
All right, Trent, tell me about this over, why you like some points in TCU SMU. This will be fun. We'll be able to sweat this puppy out at the Bookit event tomorrow at Hero in Dallas.
Yeah, really. I'm just planning on being blacked out, sweating for some points, man.
Sure.
But it's the last time we're getting one of these. You know they're scoring points. One thing I remember, Jovan told me literally in June that his most confident play of all time was going to be SMU to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
From what I saw last week, TCU's defense, just unbelievable levels of moose shit, dude. We're getting points. You know TCU's going to score, but their defense is rat. So I expect this one. I'm not even going to say score prediction because I can't do math, but this one's going to soar the fuck over.
Your last two score predictions, one of them you guessed correctly.
This one's actually another 38-34 final.
Okay, there we go. But you had an exact score picked correctly on coin toss, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
And then your next prediction, you had an under in a game, and you predicted the game to soar over by your math. So interesting last two picks for your predictions on the score.
Did he hit that over?
I don't remember.
What game was that?
It was the Steelers game that I said was going to fly under, and then I said the score, and it was an over, but it still
did hit the under.
Flew under.
Good play. Good play. L math, but W play. We love that. We take wins over math over here. Winners. Dubs. All right, let's keep moving and grooving here. Enough talking about the overs. I do like these plays a lot, gents. And Trent, I do like that over and some points in TCU and SMU. And I'll say this. Haven't heard a single person down here since I've gotten here say the Frogs are winning this game. You know it's about to happen.
Hope so.
The Frogs are winning that game on the road. I want that on record.
I just
give me
don't think
TCU.
they are, man.
Give me TCU as favorites after blowing that game last week. I don't think SMU's that guy. I don't. Give me the Frogs on the road. I like them.
They should
and
be
John
minus
Mason this
6.5.
weekend. Is one kryptonite. The Frogs, his team at times. Although you knew when they were going to the Natty 2 years ago, you were on.
I mean, I bet him every game in the Natty year. People were acting like I was Trent, just blindly betting teams. I was making coin, dude.
Making coin. But this year, you've been off a little bit with your squad.
This year they're a little tricky. They're
Yeah.
a little tricky.
Hey, we know the old golden rule, right? It's tough to pick sides for your own squads.
Yeah, it's also just like
Hardest thing to do in sports.
the way that they play, like they can't defend the run, but like if they control the game, they can do whatever they want. So it's like that's why they're such a difficult team to figure out. If SMU can run the ball, TCU's kicked, absolutely kicked. If they can't, like they can put up 50 with ease.
I can already tell from this TCU team a couple weeks in, they could beat anybody in the country this year. They could lose to anybody in the country.
Literally, dude.
Yeah.
That's what makes them so frustrating.
Yeah, but they're cool, and their offense is good.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I might end up being on the Frogs, but that might make too much sense with us being there at the Bookit event. That might just cancel out that being the sharp side. All right, we'll talk about that one later and the rest of some of these games. Let's keep moving and grooving on to some blowouts. And what do you know? Me and Trent have the same favorite for this weekend. Okay. Texas Tech as a favorite at home, Trent. What do you like about that?
I just think Arizona State is fake good.
Yes.
What
That's
I
really
saw-
what this is. It's fading Arizona State. It's not even really a fucking bet on Texas Tech.
Fading Rev.
No, I mean, I know that Texas Tech had one of the greatest performances you could possibly have on the football field last week.
Correct.
They were playing moose shit UNT, which happened to be my whale of year. Whale of year. But they looked great. I mean, holy shit, it looked like they were playing fucking Madden on easy mode out there.
Yeah, it did. It did.
It was insane. But I know that was a huge confident boost for that locker room. And I love the momentum going into this game. Obviously, ASU coming off a big win too. But give me Tech at home.
It has to be.
Has to be. Fuck Rav.
Even coming off that big win for Texas Tech, I still want to take them here, and I love that they're catching some steam against the undefeated Sun Devils, coming in off winning their fucking Super Bowl. I guess it was Texas State's Super Bowl technically.
Yeah.
In that last game last weekend, remember when everybody was on fucking Texas State during that weekday game, and Arizona State came back and pulled out that upset? They're coming off a very, very emotional win in that last game when they were getting disrespected. Everybody on earth was on Texas State saying they're about to pull off that upset. Arizona State took care of business. They did their jobs. They won outright as dogs. You think they're coming in as locked in on the roads the next week at Texas Tech that just put up a 66 piece? Good fucking luck, Sun Devils. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. Give me Texas Tech and that elite offense. It's been sketchy so far in the beginning of the season, but last week they showed their true fucking potential. They're nice.
They did.
Nice.
They are meat, but we're winning this game.
Their defense is meat.
Yeah, Baron Morton's also meat, but maybe not this week.
He could do a job a time or two. You don't want to rely on him every damn week.
Yeah, well, they don't have to because they got Taj Brooks, thankfully.
Exactly. Jovan, Florida State, you sick bastard.
Do you know,
How are you doing? Hold on, timeout. You're fading your fucking Cowboys. You're fading your fucking wagon. A team you've been so high on, so right about for the last couple seasons. A team that's become your secondary favorite squad in college football. I've seen it right in front of my eyes. I've watched you fall in love with that program. And you said, fuck them, I'm fading them this weekend. I don't give a shit.
Sometimes you got to bet with your head, not your heart, Krabs.
Sure.
And it takes a lot. It took a lot for me to get to the counter with this one. Obviously, like FSU seemed sharp every week. I fell for the trap in the BC game, not any of the others, but it was tough to get to the counter with this one. But there's a reason why I was dreading this spot for a couple weeks now, because I saw it coming from a mile away. They just went cross country. They beat Auburn. Fantastic. Love that for the win total. Then they went back home. They played a sleepy game against SDSU where they did cover, but they weren't really that good. It was kind of hated them on a platter. Now they go back across the country to play FSU in Tally, in the heat. Yes, Tally's not going to be rocking. The fans are over it, and half the stadium's empty because of renovations, but I don't really care. There's a reason why. You can talk about FSU being dog meat all they want. There's been buyback in every single game for FSU, whether it was Georgia Tech, whether it was Boston College, whether it was Memphis. The lines come down to the dog after the millions of bets that have been put on them every single time, except for this game. And there's a reason why, because Cal's not going to win this game. And I hate to say it. Cal's coming into this game banged up too. Like Jaden Knott's probably going to play. I think they were saving him for this game. Didn't play against San Diego State. He was hurt, but he's not 100%. The Cal offensive line is missing 3 starters, so they're banged up. And really, like, the offense right now for Cal is throw it up one-on-one for these wide receivers. Say what you want about DJU in the offense. They ain't going to win this game, but Cal's offense is not suited to go in there and dominate this Florida State defense. So this is an under game where I think Cal's really going to struggle to score, and I think it's unfortunately going to be first win for FSU, first loss for Cal after this weekend.
Are we worried that it's too sharp?
I don't even think it's sharp, dude.
Too easy?
I don't think it's sharp at all.
Because people are hip to it. People have been going on the Surge stream. I've heard a couple sell jobs
for FSU.
I've already heard at least one.
No way somebody gave
FSU
on the Surge stream, dude.
I swear to fucking God.
I don't even think it's sharp though, dude. I just think it's just one of those games. I've seen it coming from a mile away. I will never be happier to lose a unit and be wrong on a wager than if Cal surprises the hell out of me and wins this game. But it's taken a lot for me to get to a point where I've just accepted that they are not winning this game.
Just seeing Florida State's logo on this graphic with the word blowout feels wrong.
Yeah, these are two. I mean, Texas Tech with the amount of points in that game could be a blowout if they win. FSU is certainly not going to be a blowout. That'll be like
I don't know. I feel like it might be.
It'll be like a 17-14 game.
I feel like when they finally break the seal and put it all together and figure it out, it's going to be an absolute fucking bloodbath. And I feel like
FSU?
Yes.
They're not going to put it together in this one. Cal's defense is too good for them to really blow them out. But I just think Cal's offense is not really suited for this either.
Okay. All right. Trent, Texas Tech. I'll meet you at the cash counter when they win that game by 10 plus. W play. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about our dogs of the weekend for college football. Our favorite underdogs. These are some crazy plays. And when you look at that, Cal is back. We're going to be circling back and talking about the Cal Bears. Trent, honestly, dude, the floor is yours. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell us about why you like Cal?
I might be losing some fat U's this weekend. But
dude, you're either full sweeping or full fading. That's like both your college and your NFL card. Could be sharp as paw or just be.
Oh, man. I don't really have much of a sell job other than FSU is one of the worst programs I've ever watched take a step on a football field, man.
Yeah, you're right. It's not like they went undefeated last year or anything.
And they were bad then, too.
Dude.
They were.
That's crazy.
That actually makes no sense. You had me in the beginning by resting FSU, but they were nasty last year, bro, until Travis got hurt.
Until Travis got hurt. I'll give Travis his flowers.
Because their defense last year was good, too. They had some NFL guys on their line.
Nasty.
This year, they brought in an entirely new team. Everybody either graduated or transferred. And, yeah, it's been tough to start the season out. But
I got to ask the conch play in this game.
Please.
Ask him.
What is the play in the fucking Cal-Florida State game?
Please, conch, give me a favorite here. Be sharp.
So going under.
The under, dude.
I'd put my nuts on tape. It says the under. Last second switcheroo to the over.
Wow. Points.
Wow.
Huh.
Wow.
Maybe it will be a blowout for Florida State.
That's it's kind of disastrous.
Okay.
For Cal.
The conch's spoken, folks.
Why are you saying I copied this wager? Nobody on here is on Cal.
I don't know.
The opposite side.
Yeah, if anything, I would just copy fucking Florida State.
Yeah. I don't know. But you know what, Trent? Somebody's winning, right?
Yeah.
And Cal is probably the play that makes sense, at least on paper. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see if the Seminoles can get their first fucking win of the season at home against the Cal Bears traveling across the country. We'll see how it plays out. Jovan, I want to hear about Navy. I want to hear that sell job.
Yeah, so this is another, I don't want to say like too similar to San Jose State because it's a little different, but we have Memphis, who is coming off of that win against FSU, and call it what you want. I think that's a huge win. They've been on social media with their AD like parading for the past week, saying this is a historic win for the Memphis program. I'm glad that we get to start something. And to be honest, like they probably should have lost that game. And that's, I guess you could say that about really anybody that has played FSU to this point. But like Memphis didn't look all that good in that game. Like their offense was getting stifled, similarly to the way that I think Cal's going to play. But they just won at FSU. Now they got to go back home before opening up a couple games here. This is a tough spot, especially when you're facing a Navy team coming off of a bye week. So, like, if any team you don't want to give time for preparation against your defense, it's got to be Navy. So this is a tough spot after beating FSU on the road to come back and open American Conference play with the triple option or the modified version of it, I guess, at this point for Navy. So I think this is a game we've already seen Memphis Navy year in, year out be crazy games. I feel like this is another one where it seems inevitable that at the very least it's a one-possession game. Trent, bro. Trent, man. 1 and 3. All we need is one of the three. Or, I mean, I don't even give a shit if they went out right, but.
Oh, God.
Touchdown, man. A touchdown.
Does Navy even have an AD? They're asking in chat. They don't need an AD. They got heart. They got heart. They got grit. They got good brains that work. These are smart kids. They got their fucking heads in the right spot. They're hard workers. They don't give up. They don't quit, right? You never got to worry about a team covering the spread with one of the military schools. They're never giving up. They're playing all four quarters.
We were taking pictures of that shit, bro.
Okay. God, and it has to be my second favorite school as well, Navy. God damn it. Horvath has been a pleasant surprise for Navy this season because he's been pretty fucking bad in recent years, but the junior has stepped up not only in the rush game for Navy, but he's got 3 touchdown passes this year. So when they get towards the red zone, when they get involved, their offense now without Coach Ken has kind of migrated a little bit to a little bit of a passing game at times when needed, which is huge. They might end up needing that, down the line if it's a 10-point game late, needed to come back and do it and cover. But I think Memphis is going to have one heck of a time trying to stunt and limit Horvath's success on the ground. This guy's averaging 7 yards per carry on the ground. He's leading the team in carries this season. I mean, that's what Navy does. They run the triple option, and they've got plenty of bodies, fullbacks and running backs behind them who are also averaging, between 6 and 8 yards per carry as well on average. This Navy offense has impressed me a ton so far this season. I had zero expectations going in with Navy this year. I thought they were going to be atrocious. They have proved me wrong. They've got way more heart, grit, and talent than I expected so far this season. And like Jovan said, coming off a bye week, that is massive. You give Navy 2 weeks to prepare for Memphis coming off their biggest win in program history. Navy's a must bet. You have to take them, and you deal with the results. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the midshipmen keep this game within a touchdown and maybe even closer. They typically keep these games against Memphis relatively competitive and within the number. They do.
They do. was looking at some of their history, minus like one game that they won 2 years ago. These games are just always madness.
They're usually weird, and Navy usually covers. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember last year. Last year was a very popular take on Memphis beating the shit out of them, and it was like 27-24.
Yeah. Weird. This game could get weird again. I will take the mids against Memphis coming off their biggest win in program history. Has to be done. Has to be done.
Sure.
Miami of Ohio. God, I feel like I just gave a sell job for my own play there. Shit. Miami of Ohio. I'll keep this one short and sweet. There's honestly not much to this one, but I fucking love the Red Hawks on the roads. Looking to potentially probably not win this game, but at least maybe get their first cover of the season here. They've struggled through their first couple games of the year against Cincinnati, Northwestern. And Miami of Ohio is a team that last year won the MAC. They lost a couple guys, but they have a great coach, a great program. They're supposed to be dominant once again. They had high expectations this season, but they started out the year with 3 really tough games on the schedule. Maybe that's what they wanted. I don't know, but they started out with Northwestern, Cincinnati, and now Notre Dame. They have not covered or played well in those first 2 games. I think this is the game the Red Hawks finally cover, and I love fading Notre Dame after that 66-7 rout against Purdue last week when everybody was on Purdue. They saw the Irish lose to NIU the week before. Everybody faded the Irish. We saw Riley Leonard and co. finally fucking grow up and put up some points on the board against an overrated Purdue squad. Now we fade the Irish again. And what do we know about Notre Dame in that program when they're playing against, smaller schools, smaller programs? These games get weird more often than not. They're typically within the number for the Dogs. And I will happily, gladly put a couple extra units on Miami of Ohio this weekend. They are not as bad of a team as they've showed so far this season. They are much, much better. I was very disappointed by their performance, especially on defense against Cincinnati last week. I thought that was a game they could have potentially won, and at times that game was close, but they blew it. I think they bounce back and keep this game within 4 touchdowns against Notre Dame. To be honest with you, I think they keep it within 3. This could be a close one.
Yeah, I'm in on that. Always into fade these group of 5 teams when they go into Notre Dame Stadium because it's always closer than it should be. So they also, I think I said this yesterday, but in that game against Cincy with Sorsby, they QB spied him the entire game. So they're going to make Riley Leonard throw the ball. I would, if they spy Sorsby and they're not doing the same to Riley Leonard all game, I'd be surprised. So if he has the game on his arm, that'll be interesting.
Shoresby.
Shoresby.
Yes.
Goat.
Of course. Somebody in chat, my guy Pip said Krabs just signed up on Pickett and started tracking my bets. Let's get right. Let's fucking go, Pip. Welcome to the fucking show, Pip. W starting to track your bets on Pickett. Love to hear that. Trent, thoughts on Navy against Memphis this weekend? Thoughts on Miami of Ohio against Notre Dame?
I feel like Navy is one of those plays. The sharps are all over it, and I feel like those usually end up paying out. Low-key.
So there's probably 0% chance you get involved on that play.
I might have to tap.
I think it's a winner, man. I really do. Coming off that extra bye week, too, extra week of prep, that is massive.
Yeah, it's big.
And I will fade Memphis in any spot coming off that game, the way their team's talking afterwards, like they already won the fucking college football playoffs. Ridiculous. 3 games in. Absurd. Yeah, go ahead and give me Navy with the points. Blue collar.
Miami, Ohio, a little spooky.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of points. They've looked like shit so far this season. I think they look like a different team against the Irish on the road here. That's really what I'm betting. And fading the Irish off that big win. But I'm with you, Trent. I feel like the Navy sell job sounds better on paper. Miami of Ohio, probably not for the faint of heart. Okay. Yep. Let's keep moving and grooving here, gents. W College Football Weekend Preview segment. Let's go to our favorite plays of the weekend in college football. And I'll get it started off with Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt. Okay. Josh, he's shaking his head over there. Look, I get it. And your Mizzou squad will win this game. They will win, but they're surely not going to cover because of one guy, Diego Pavia. This guy's him. And they blew a game last week to Georgia State. And I love buying low on this Vandy team that has impressed me this season so far, even with that loss to Georgia State. I was on Georgia State in that game. I said they would probably win outright. They fucking did. Now is when we buy back in. And now we fucking drink the Kool-Aid and we take Vanderbilt once again, a program just like Syracuse that I talked about earlier, that's going to continue to thrive and get better with NIL money. And they have Diego Pavia, who's taken more snaps under center than probably any other QB that they're going to play this season combined. This guy's a seasoned vet. He's coming off a bad game where they just lost outright to a fucking mid-major school, Georgia State. Embarrassing. I'll back Vandy to bounce back and keep this one within the number against Mizzou, who's not coming off their best performance, but they did win that game. I just think this is going to be a close game, and this is a bad number. Way too many points given to Vandy and way too much disrespect. Like this is still the Vandy team and program from years past. I'll tell you right now, it's not. And I've seen it in person with my own eyes. They're better.
Yeah, I'm in.
One thing I will say, I feel like Mizzou's defense is playing against the same offense 2 weeks in a row.
Ooh.
I know. I was about to say
and I feel like they might be ready for it this time.
This one's a little
they
different.
They kind of choked last week.
You can't prepare for this offense though, because it's so. I don't know like that we've seen anything like it, because it's like a, I don't know, what would you call it? It's like a triple option, but a little more pass heavy, like kind of like it's super weird.
It's
like,
a lot of like RPOs. I feel like.
Yeah, it's a lot of RPOs.
Pavia.
Yeah, and anytime frankly, I know that the game got pretty weird in a lot of different ways, more ways than one. But when they had some RPO involved with Tommy Castellanos in the run game, they looked a little confused.
I mean, they rushed for 49 yards against us.
Jesus.
Yeah. Tommy was able.
I think that if they keep doing that in the run game, Mizzou's defense, and they figure out those mistakes in the pass game, like that's the only thing that scares me. I don't hate Vanderbilt though, taking 20 and a half. Like,
I think
that's a lot.
I think this is one
and
of
our
those
offense
games,
is yet to click. So
I think this is one of those games where Vanderbilt comes out to an early lead and like the cover's never in doubt.
Yeah, that's an
Mizzou
all-time
never
Mizzou
really
game.
gets.
That's
there.
an all-time Mizzou.
Yeah,
we go down 6-0 early, and then we're up 10-6 at half.
Yeah,
somehow.
That's what I think.
But there's no chance they cover.
Yeah, I'm in on that. I like that play from Krabs.
Diego Pavia, look, they'll have a couple design runs for him off the rip, sure, but he's not looking to run right off the rip. Yeah. He's going through his reads. He's bootlegging. He's on the move. This guy is tough to defend because you don't know what the fuck he's going to do. And then when nobody's open down the field, he tucks and runs. This is one of the smartest QBs in college football. He started out at a military academy down there in New Mexico, then transferred to New Mexico State or New Mexico State. And then now he's at Vandy for like his 7th season. This kid's played a lot of football, and he is smart. Mistakes, not typical for him, and that could be the difference in this game against Mizzou on the road.
Yeah. You went on that, Trent? Fade Mizzou?
All in on that.
Figured it wouldn't take much.
I'm excited to hear these 2 next sell jobs here, gents. We'll start with BYU. Trent, get ready for the Trojans. What do we got?
BYU, the late night Mormons. I think this is 9:30 p.m. game, or maybe here.
Time this weekend,
yeah,
yes.
so at least at the very least, like 8:30 local time. But beside the point, it's a night game in Mormonville, which I love. I think this is the upset that everybody was searching for last week for Kansas State, and the exact reason that I was against it, even though I do not think Kansas State is very good, I do not think Avery Johnson is very good. The reason why I took them against Arizona in that game. If you can't stop the run against Kansas State, there's no reason you should even show up to the field. And that was the one thing. Like, people love Ted McMillan. People love the Arizona offense, even though they got shut down by the Kansas State defense a little bit. That's another conversation for another day. But they couldn't stop Giddens. They couldn't stop Avery Johnson on the ground. Avery Johnson had 100+, greatest square of all time. Me and Krabs Collab, W's. BYU's different. This front seven for BYU is physical. They are disciplined. Really like the entire defense, not just the front seven. The secondary has been good. So like coming into the season, I've been really impressed by BYU's defense, pleasantly surprised. They're going to be able to stop Kansas State in that rushing attack in this game. And what does that do, Krabs? That puts the game on Avery Johnson's arm. He's a Wildcat quarterback. I don't know why. I said this from the start. I don't know why he was getting Heisman hype from the beginning of the season. He can run. That's cool. He can't throw the ball. So like if you're putting the game on Avery Johnson's arm, and this is like the true road test, tough environment. I know he went to Tulane where he didn't look all that good through the air and had some lapses in that game. Have fun night game at BYU with everything coming into this game. Really positive momentum for BYU. I think this is the spot where BYU wins outright. Kansas State gets upset. Like I said, people were searching for it last week with Arizona. This is where you get it. And I think this game is where offenses struggle, and it's a super close game all the way through. Give me the Cougars.
Okay. Sure. I'll be on the Cougar spread with you as well, with the points at home in this game.
Yeah.
Has to be done. Trent, Trojans.
Yeah, I just want to show you this real quick.
We're back. What is that,
What
bro?
the fuck is that?
Put that out.
So that's from your boy Chad.
Let's go, Chad.
What is that?
Chad, sorry for yelling at you yesterday. You're still the homie. Just defending myself, man.
That's
not personal.
Help me, dude.
He's the homie. He knows it's not personal. Chad, I expect the winner on well shit, I guess no Surge today. Tuesday. I know you'll be back on Surge with the winner. Okay. Trent, USC. on the spread. What do you like about them as favorites?
I know I said Florida State was one of the most shit programs I've ever seen take field. But Michigan's right up there. They're fucking horrendous. They're so bad. I expect, who's the running back for USC?
Jaquavius Pork.
Jaquavius fucking Pork is going to grow.
I can't believe that wasn't one of your PrizePicks squares.
Dude, I was looking at it. But then I found a different one that I like more. But I expect Jaquavius Pork to just take this game himself, man. He's going to run all over him. Miller Moss playing Heisman level football right now. I expect him to take care of the ball a lot. This Michigan D is not really anything to worry too much about. But when I was watching them play Texas, it was honestly horrific to watch. I wanted to leave at half. It was horrible. They couldn't couldn't make any defensive stops, like none. They got one missed field goal in the first drive of the game. That was it. I think they scored every other time. So obviously Texas is the best team in the country, but I think USC is for sure on their way to, what are they even ranked nowadays?
What are they?
I don't know, dude, but I'm
Right
so high on the
top 10, maybe.
I'm taking, what's his name's action?
11.
Krabs action on this. I'll gladly take SBR's action on this. He wants to hop in.
Michigan's still ranked 18 as well. Is ridiculous, but
how?
Literally because they won the Natty last year. That's how. That's
Yeah.
the only reason why. All right.
I think just similar to my dumbass walking around Michigan thinking I'm getting insane value plus chick on a former champion. I think those same fucking bozos at that same frat are going to be saying the same shit this Saturday. And once again, they're going to be fucking drowning afterwards.
Did you guys see the Lambda boys when you guys were up there or no?
No, I went to Pi Cap. They were absolute homies.
W Pi Cap gents up there in Michigan.
They had like seven different options for Illadelphs that were all at least over 2K each.
That's Michigan, I guess. Michigan gives me UVA vibes a little bit. I feel like Michigan State's more VT.
No,
while I was there, I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, I forget all these kids are fucking smart as shit.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's a good school. And they're ripping Illadelphs like it's their job, as they should. All right, let's keep moving to Griven here. Enough talking about bongs. Let's go to the PrizePicks squares and go and get this puppy started out here. I'll go with my guy, Anthony Calandria. Speaking of UVA, speaking of the Devils, Calandria's thrown 2 straight picks in his last 2 games, I believe. He's not throwing a pick this weekend on the road at Coastal. I think they win that game. UVA, look, they're not good. Their football program's an absolute fucking joke, but they hit the lottery. They got a pretty good young QB in Calandria, who's a sophomore. He's still learning. Clearly, he's been a pick machine so far this season, but I thought it was pretty weird seeing his square up there on the boards after being a pick machine. And I think he goes in there, and I'm not liking points in that game. I like the under in that game. I do like UVA to win, and I want to fade Coastal, who's undefeated. I just have to look myself in the mirror and decide if I want to actually put my hard-earned coins on UVA. Fuck them. But I know for a fact I'll be taking Calandria to not throw a pick and be much, much more conservative in this game after throwing 4 in his last 2 games.
Wow.
I'm locking in this 6-piece ASAP.
Yeah, if you lock it in, if you can send the link in our group chat, that'd be massive.
That would be great.
That'd be massive developments if you're doing that. Yeah, I love the Calandria no pick angle here against Coastal, who already has 3 interceptions this season. I was like, maybe their defense is fucking poo. Maybe they're terrible. They've had some picks. This is a weird square to be up on PrizePicks. I will take the less than. And then Diego Pavia, already kind of talked about him a little bit. I'm taking his Russian receiving combo because I do think he might break 1 or 2 at times. He's clutch as heck. I talked about what I think they're going to be doing with him. It's going to be a lot of RPOs, a lot of bootlegs. But Diego Pavia is the decision maker here. But I do want to, add in the rushing yards because I think there's a chance that maybe he breaks a couple on some bootlegs if they're not covering the outside as well as people are expecting. And I think Pavia, maybe they don't win this game outright, but I do think they keep it extremely close and cover that number. And I think their offense puts up some points, and it's got to have to be from Pavia leading the way. The running back's not great. They got a couple receivers, though. I expect Pavia to be a menace both on the ground and through the air in this game. I mean, he put up like 300 yards in the air last week. I know it was against Georgia State, but I want to buy low on this Vanderbilt team once again. And Pavia, who's going to be much, much smarter in this contest after losing that embarrassing game last weekend.
Yeah, I love that. He's going to have a big game early and often, so I'm in.
It's a low number against a good Mizzou team. He's getting disrespected. A solid defense in Mizzou down there. I wouldn't say they're elite, but they're solid. I think that's why we're getting this discounted number. I mean, they're obviously, getting 3 touchdowns on the spread as well. So it makes sense. But I know Diago Pavia is him. I'm not worried about the Mizzou secondary, and I think he gets a couple runs that he breaks through for maybe 20, 30, 40 yards.
Dude, at the end of the game, too, I mean, if they're down 21 points.
Yeah, they're going to be down.
Whether it's a W
Mizzou
game script.
will give them all the yards you want.
Yeah, whether it's W game scripts and they're up early in this game and he's absolutely crushing it with the stats, carrying Vanderbilt, or they're down late and coming back into it and Mizzou's checked out. I think this has 2 angles to spin.
Yeah, I agree.
Love that.
Jovan, what do you like about your PrizePicks squares, my man, in college?
Yeah, I've touched on these already a little bit, so I won't rehash it all too much. But like I talked about with Kansas State, the BYU defense is tough. They're going to be tough against the run. The times that Avery Johnson has had, and I did just notice that it is an all QB slope. The times Avery Johnson has done things in the passing game, it's really helped out by the run game being efficient because he's always in second and manageable or third and manageable situations. They don't throw very much on early downs, so that's the situations where he thrives the most in the passing game. The problem is I think you're going to be in very obvious throwing situations when Avery Johnson has been in that against really any decent defense, which looking at the teams they've had to play with since he's been the starter, he hasn't really had that opportunity very much. He hasn't been very good. So there's a reason why I'll take this even with the bump down. Got on it a little late because it was much higher at open. I don't think he's going to have much success through the air. And same goes for Fernando Mendoza. The Cal pathway to a victory in this game, whether it's Jay Nod or Javian Thomas or whoever's going to be healthy in the backfield, is running the ball. And their offense right now is very vanilla, especially with the offensive line injuries. So they're winning one-on-one battles on the outside with the wide receivers. That's their only avenue to any threat in the passing game right now. I don't think you're going to be able to do that against FSU. So whether they're trailing or whether they're not, I don't think you're ever going to be in a situation where they're getting super garbage time yards because the game's going to be close. I don't think it's a Mendoza game really at all.
Okay. Yep. Love bet those angles. More than down to fade Avery Johnson this week, and love that BYU angle. And then obviously fading your guy Mendoza. Did not expect to hear that today, but it makes sense. If Cal has a chance in this game, it's going to be through the rush game.
Yeah.
Okay. Cam is gassed. We're going to reload that. Trent, you want to go over your 2 PrizePicks squares here, my man?
Yeah, I actually want to get your guys' take here on Jackson Arnold's passing yards because bro hasn't even sniffed, not even come close to this number all year. 244.5 against this wagon Tennessee defense. Just look at this fucking chart.
Yeah, the chart's crazy.
I love it.
How is he going to get this? How is he going to get this? I need to know.
Nick Anderson, I believe, is back and healthy, which I think that is something that's pretty commonly overlooked in this game because all people talk about are the fact that Nico's great and he's going to throw all over Oklahoma's defense, and Oklahoma's offense has not looked super explosive, but the top option's coming back. So I feel like that unlocks the offense more than people think. So I do think this game is going to be cagey early, but I think he can settle in, and I like the square.
The square is 244.5 yards, and 250 plus on the green book is -110.
Wow. Love that.
Sure.
What else I love about the square, Trent, Jackson Arnold has a rush square up as well after he had damn near 100 yards on the ground in his last starts. Love seeing that up. I feel like that tells me he's probably not going to be running as much in this game, and the yards have to come from somewhere if Oklahoma's going to cover. So it's got to be through the air for Jackson Arnold.
Primer, dude. I'm going to need you blacked out at Hero sweating this shit with me. Or I guess it's a late game, but
he's going to the game, I think he said, right?
You're going to the game, Prime?
Sure. Let's go, Prime. Jack, can we get some W's going for Joshy right now? He's grinding his butt off, producing this puppy, and he's got all the screen shares up. He's got this, he's got that. Let's get some W's going in the chat for Joshy.
Maybe Josh.
He's working hard.
Thank you.
I'm sure he loves all the Mizzou fades so far on the screen.
Yep, love it.
Dubs.
But I just nuked it. double dipped on it actually because I tailed the 6-man and tailed the Weekender Bender. But do you actually think this hits? Like,
yeah,
I
do. The Miller Moss one scares me a little bit, although I did lock it in.
That does scare me a bit.
I locked in the 6-piece, but
yeah, it could be a sleepy 9:30 a.m. on the West Coast type vibe for Miller Moss here, but I think that it's just going to be a ground and pound game for the Trojans.
Okay.
I think that Jaquavius Pork, honestly, if I can switch it to Jaquavius Pork, I fucking would. But in a way, this is me backing Jaquavius Pork because
kind of is,
we don't need those long balls. But
they don't even have pork squares up right now, man. That's so soft.
They did.
I'm pretty sure they do.
They did when I was on the couch before this. So I looked at it.
Let me see.
I'm not seeing shit.
Yeah, he's up.
I put 500.
You know his name's not actually Pork, Krabs.
Okay, what's his name?
Marks.
Okay.
Yeah, but his first name's Jaquavius.
I typed in the word pork. I typed in the word pork and nothing came up.
John Pork.
Jaquavius Marks.
John call you back or what, Trent?
No. Haven't heard from him since.
That's right.
Ever since Lazard caught that first TD, man.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, we've been marinating on college football for a while. We probably should get to NFL.
Jeez, dude. Let's
go. We got a video preview.
Yes. Get there.
Yeah, that music is absolutely fucking electric.
It's so horny.
Bricked up.
We need Carrie on one of these previews.
Yeah, we do.
You think Carrie will come on for a stream? Maybe pitch some plays? You think Carrie's got a PrizePicks square? Maybe an 8-piece lineup that goes 0 for 8 for her first one? That was another check. All right, let's lock in here. Let's go with the Chiefs team total under this weekend for my snooze fest. Look, I wanted to get involved with this Sunday night football game, and this is the way that I did it. I'm a little bit worried about backing the Falcons coming off of that generational win as a dog last week that nobody expected when they upset the Eagles. I do lean that way, and I do think they cover the game. I like the +3, but I also like the under in this game as well. And it'll be another primetime game, Sunday night football. I think that Falcons defense is still a little underrated. I do. I was very, very impressed, and I know the Eagles aren't great. They're frauds too, but this Falcons defense is pretty solid. And Kirk Cousins looked much improved compared to that first game. I'll back Atlanta here and their defense, and I think they do cover this game and potentially win and pull off back-to-back upsets. But instead of doing that after they already beat the Eagles and we were on them last weekend, I'm just going to isolate and fade the Chiefs offense here. I know they don't have Pacheco. I think that'll be a bigger deal than people think. Everyone's talking about, all these great backup running backs coming in. They got, a couple different options here. They got Carson Steele, who's getting absolutely gassed up like he's Marshawn Lynch for some reason, although he really hasn't done anything yet. Samaje Perine, former Redskins legend, sure. But is that going to be enough? I don't think it will be, and I think that'll end up biting them in the ass much more than people expect. And that Falcons secondary can hang a little bit. Spread short, totals low. I like the under. It's a primetime game. I will fade the Chiefs offense here. Instead of backing the Falcons on the spread or ML, I'll just fade their team total.
Sure. I'm in. I don't like too many points in that game, so I'm kind of right there with you, Krabs.
Dubs.
I like this under in the Browns game, which, to be honest with you, I've come around to think the Giants may make some noise in this game. But the reason I like the under, these are two really bad offensive lines. We know that with the Giants already, and you don't really need any help to make Daniel Jones bad. But this Browns offensive line is dealing with injuries, and say what you want about the Giants secondary because they're bad. But to be honest, what have we seen from the Browns offense so far to think that they're the team that can really take advantage of that? Because that passing game looks out of whack, whether it's Watson, whether it's the receiver cast, whether it's anything. That offense really hasn't clicked. They got a gritty win on the road last week in the rain in Jacksonville, but that offensive line still got to prove it to me. This feels like a game where the offense really struggles to get going, even against the Giants defense that is going to be everybody's favorite targets. But I feel like the Giants make some noise, and I feel like they're in the conversations to win this game. They probably ain't going to do that with very many points, the way that offense, Daniel Jones, is going to play against that defense. So give me a little nasty under. Not too nasty because the Giants are involved against the Browns, but gross one to watch.
Okay. Trent, you got the Eagles and the Saints under. Interesting.
If you're going to take one play from me in the chat this weekend on everything that's been pitched, it's got to be this under in the Eagles-Saints game, dude. I'm so fucking confident in this. The Saints defense is so legit. We know the Eagles D should be a little bit better, but they're also not bad. But this is going to be a close game. The Eagles at plus chicken's interesting against this kind of a fake wagon Saints. Who knows if they're legit or not? We're only 2 weeks in, but I just see this being a comeback to earth game for the Saints. Not that I think the Eagles are going to win or anything, but I just think that they tame this wagon offense. I think it soars under. I don't think it even comes close to this number.
I love fading the Saints offense here. And there's a chance that I end up actually betting the Eagles in this spot, probably before I end up taking the under in the game. Trent, I do think the under hits in this game, but you're going to have to worry about the Eagles and their offense. And also, let's not act like the Eagles defense is an absolute fucking mid shit. They're terrible. They're absolutely
bad.
I mean, it's good for Trent, though. I mean, I think this game is going to have the longest drives of all time.
Yeah.
Like we've already seen the Eagles, how they love to milk clock, obviously, in all their drives that include the run game. We saw what the Falcons were doing with Bijan against the Eagles, and the whole like resurgence of the Saints offense is because they run like wide zone shit with Alvin Kamara, which eventually opens up like the Shaheed bombs. But a lot of it's just the concepts that Kubiak runs outside and between the tackles. So these drives, I mean, this might be one where there's not that many stops in this game, but the drives are literally book of chew.
Yeah, I just don't even think there's going to be enough time to put up 50.
It's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points, dude. I'm telling you, I'm so confident that this game goes under.
Kind of like that.
I was so tapped on that Apple Cup under last week. I said, if you're going to tail one thing, take that.
Yes.
That.
You're right. Okay. Let me check the splits in this game. I'm curious. I mean, look, absolutely beautiful. 25% of bets and handle on this under. And we're seeing the total pretty much hold. So clearly the books are okay for now with being overexposed on that over, which is a great sign for the under.
Richie, anything you tail, it's got to be this one play, dude. I'm telling you.
I think Trent might be in his bag with this one.
He might be, dude. He might be in Duff.
Would I prefer to take the Saints team total under? Probably, with the pissed off Phillies team, Eagles team coming off of that. But I do like this under as well. And Trent, if you're putting meat on tape for it, if you're saying this is your favorite play of the weekend, I'll get involved. I'll tail it.
Yeah, I do have another meat on tape, but just because the other play says meat on tape, this is for sure my most confident of the weekend.
All right, W letting the people know. Let's keep moving and grooving here. W snooze fest. Let's get to some more fun games. And how about the Mikey Over segment where we talk about our favorite overs for the NFL slate this weekend? And I'm sure Josh, you'll be happy to hear this one. I think the Bears offense gets up and moving this weekend. Now, I don't think that correlates with a win exactly. I'm a little bit sketched out, and I probably would lean the Colts, although the Bears are getting some sharp action, moving from +1.5 to +1. And I wouldn't be surprised if the game moves to a pick 'em, but the Colts have actually looked worse than the Bears so far this season. They're 0-2. Richardson looks fucking terrible. He's making terrible decisions, not sharp at all whatsoever. And I want to bet both these young rookie QBs who have struggled so far this season to figure it out against each other this weekend in this Sunday night 12 p.m. Central starts. And I'm thinking we're going to get both these defenses get exposed by these young QBs who've been getting chirped a lot over the last 2 weeks, especially Caleb Williams. And I think DJ Moore has a great fucking matchup this weekend. I think they get him more involved in the offense. He's had plenty of targets. As we get a Dansby Swanson nuke in the bottom of the first, we got to run.
Let's go.
Betters in Quail, Chad, Adam, fucking
the Nerfy.
Caleb Muse.
Dude. That's beat. Fuck. Yeah, dude. Trevor Williams first start back in a couple months. He might be a little rusty, folks.
GG.
He might be a little rusty. But let's reel this back in. Bears and Colts. These offenses have not impressed really at all so far this season. I mean, I guess the Colts' first game of the season against Houston, they lost 27-29. They were okay, but last week they got embarrassed on the road at Green Bay and only put up 10 points. Both these teams combined have hit the under in 3 of their 4 games so far this season. And I think this game soars, and I think we get a good old-fashioned shootout between 2 young rookie QBs who have been getting, or not a rookie from Richardson, but a young QB. Both these guys have been getting chirped like no other. People are saying Caleb Williams hasn't thrown a fucking touchdown pass yet. He stinks. He's a bust. Give me a break. People are saying CJ Stroud, big dictum after the game. Come on, dude. That's only going to motivate him. We know Caleb Williams is the truth. He said he's done with the picks. He's not throwing any more picks. I think he absolutely locks in and has a great fucking day against the Colts secondary and DJ Moore grubs. And I think Anthony Richardson and the Colts offense have their best fucking day of the season so far against this against this Bears secondary. Bears D-line, kind of solid. Bears secondary, average. I don't think they've really impressed me too much this season, though. I think we see Richardson get mobile, use those legs, and have his best game of the season and carry this total over the number.
I'm in on that. Colts defense. I mean, Colts D-line is banged up to begin with, so Caleb has been under a ridiculous amount of pressure first couple games, and now he gets time to work against that secondary. Better things are probably going to happen for the Bears at the least.
I also think DeAndre Swift might have a day finally. One thing that we haven't been able to do at all is run the ball, and I think they're going to make it a priority against this weak defensive line to run the ball.
Okay.
And I think that's going to help Caleb, obviously.
I did hear
blitz
rumblings.
every single fucking play.
I did hear rumblings of that, and I tailed you on a little sneak combo touchdown geyser that had
with Rome.
Rome's in that square.
Bears defense has been getting a lot of gas, a lot of hype, keeping them in games, keeping them covering these games.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson, no chance he puts up a number.
The Bears
in this
defense
game, right?
hasn't given up more than 20 points in their last 7 games.
Yeah, I mean they finished
Going
the
back to
season
last
great
year.
last year, sure.
Yeah.
They've looked solid. They've kept them in the game so far this year. No chance Richardson, who's looked so terrible through 2 games, puts up some points against the Bears, right?
And Keenan Allen out.
Yeah,
Sure.
I saw he just got ruled out.
That honestly might be a good thing for that offense. I'm just going to say.
Spread it out, let Rome get some snaps.
Because he's been playing like he's fucking hurt or banged up and slow.
We didn't play last week. The first week,
He's been hurt.
This looked whack.
He's been hurt.
I mean, we had 93 passing yards in the first week. Like,
Yeah.
and he had like
What are you
30.
gonna do?
So it was like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Points in a game
Points.
nobody's expecting.
I like it.
Before we hear Javon's sell job, I want to just start off by
Yeah, I was
saying
going to let you lead off and give the meat for this one.
this fucking over last week cost me $7,000 on my weekender cheeser.
Okay.
It was incredibly frustrating. I felt like we were just running out of time. Like the game was going by so fast. The Lions failed to score in the red zone like 4 fucking times. They threw, I think, 2 crucial picks, if not 1. It was really frustrating and horrible to watch. I'm praying that the Lions are able to bounce back and put up the 30 ball that we know they're capable of doing. And this Cardinals defense isn't anything, too crazy to worry about. And their offense is also fantastic. You got Kyler playing MVP level ball right now. This feels like a no-brainer over, but I would love to hear the sell job on why Javon's taking it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've kind of circled back around. We talked about the Lions. I think it's a bounce back spot for them offensively against like a Cardinals team. The Cardinals defense it's not the Bucs defense because Todd Bowles sent a lot of blitzes at Jared Goff, sent some exotic coverages. He didn't know what to do. The Cardinals try that and put their defense in one-on-one situations. Jared Goff is going to throw for 600 yards. So like, if they do try it, great. If they don't, like Jared Goff is going to have all the time in the world to dice that defense in every single way he wants. But on the other side, like Kyler's going to have to go band for band, like with him, and I think he does. So like I think as obvious as this over may seem, like this is the one after last week that seemed kind of obvious with the Bucs game that got nowhere close. I think we get this one. So like I would not be surprised if this is just a back and forth game the entire way, ends in the 30s both ways, and God knows who wins at that point. But
dude, we need 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, bro. If we don't get that, we're fucked.
Yeah, and I'll say I'm not wearing this jersey for no reason. So I think we get that. Kind of needs to unlock their red zone struggles that they saw last week, and I think that'll happen.
Yeah, wake the fuck up, Laporta.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Is he
We'll
hurt? Is he soft?
No.
Is he not prepped? Is he complacent? What's going on here?
We'll find out after this week.
You better get going. You better get moving and grooving. I like this over. I don't love this over because the Cardinals are involved. I like the Lions to score some points this week. If I had a gun to my head in GTA, I'd probably take the Lions team total over after the Arizona splooge fest. But I could see Arizona keeping themselves in this game, and Kyler Murray has looked great so far this season. Trent, I'll give you that. Marvin finally showed up last week. He only had 4 catches, but 1,000,000 yards. They've got plenty of weapons. And James Conner, a guy who I told all you guys, scream from the mountaintops, draft this guy in your fucking fantasy football league this upcoming season. He's a stud as well. He's still got some gas left in the tank. So I do like points in this game. I'm worried about backing Arizona to show up once again for the third straight week in a row offensively after putting up 41 and 28 in their last 2 games. But I do like this over, and I think the Lions are going to carry the workload for it.
Sure.
I like the Lions in the spot as well. I think they win this game on the roads. I think they're a decent-looking survivor pick if you weren't a bozo like me last weekend and took the Lions. Okay. Awesome. I like these plays, gents. I do. I think all 2 of these smack. Let's move and groove. Let's go to blowouts. And what do you know? We got another consensus quake here with me and Trent, a little Titan sandwich. Ravens ML. How about the Ravens starting out the season 0-2? Who had that on their bingo card? Sorry, Goots. Jovan did.
No, I didn't. I took the Ravens in Survivor last week.
Yeah,
but
give me a break.
W fade.
Sure.
W season fade.
The Cowboys are a fucking joke. They're a scam. I'm going to start calling them a scam because they're just not good. They're never good. The Cowboys are a fucking joke. Scam. But the Ravens come into this game even worse, 0-2, with a really embarrassing loss in their last game to the fucking Raiders. Chiefs, okay, you get a pass, losing to the Chiefs first game of the season. The Raiders, come on. What are we fucking doing here, guys? You're losing to the fucking Raiders. That's the most Ravens/Raiders move of all time. Both those teams play up and down to their comps. It worked out perfectly like that. I think Baltimore comes into this game pissed off, and it's the Lamar Jackson legacy game against this Cowboys defense that loses Dan Quinn. I mean, Zimmer. Is Zimmer doing anything coaching? Is Zimmer even in the state of Texas? I don't know, because they have taken a massive step back on the defensive side of the ball this season, and I'm not expecting that to change or improve drastically, a couple of days later. Ravens are coming in pissed off, 0-2 this season. We know that stat. Teams that start 0-3 damn near never make the playoffs. This is a must-win spot for Harbaugh, who once again, people are calling for his head for no reason. The disrespect that guy gets for winning games week in, week out, like Mike Tomlin. I don't fucking get it. These Ravens fans are privileged and spoiled, I guess. But he's fucking getting his name called for again. People are saying he should not be the head coach of this Ravens team. I think they stand on business. I think Lamar goes nuts. And I think the Ravens are a favorite on the road, still looking for their first win against Dallas, who always gets line respect for a reason.
Sure. I'll be on the Ravens too. I saved us the clean sweep graphic, but
okay,
we'll be on them.
Sure. Trent, anything else you want to add about the Ravens before we get to that Titans play?
No, I think you nailed the sell job. Okay. I need to see a 0-3 Ravens in order to believe it.
Right. Meaning you're going to bet the Ravens here? You don't believe they're going to start 0-3? Yes.
It's not happening, bro. It's not funny.
Agreed.
Trent, you know what this is too? Lamar in Dallas is like an Ellie in LA play. I think he's going to go stupid in this game.
Stupid, dude. Maybe it's his rush yards.
I think it's his rush yards, and I guess we can talk about touchdowns a little later, but I'm taking him to get the end zone.
Chat, I'm looking to throw 5K weekender whale.
Dude. I have no comment for that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fucking side.
And one of the squares is on this man's jersey. We're looking for 3 more.
Somebody in chat just said Joey Gallo got another hit today. Don't let him get hot.
Got a single. Love that.
It might
Adams got whales paid for this 5K whale, dude. So I got coin to play with, man. I need to hit fat.
W Adams got whales.
There you go.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll be on the Ravens with you guys. I like the Titans. Obviously, asterisk on this play. If Jordan Love plays, I mean, scratch it, but I really don't believe that. They said 50-50 shot at best. He's practicing. Cool. I think it's all smoke and mirrors, but I'm only taking this if this is Malik Willis. He's not having a revenge game against the Titans. We talked about it a little bit too. That Colts team was just not suited to go against the Packers because they were making Anthony Richardson throw the ball. He couldn't throw the ball. Say what you want about Will Levis, but I feel like they match up as a whole a lot better than the Colts did in that spot. Definitely helps that they're at home as well. Tony Pollard against that Packers rush defense is going to have, I don't know, probably his best game of the season, which is huge for getting Will Levis comfortable. And people don't talk about that Titans defense enough, the improvements that they've made. They're going to have Malik Willis in a hell. Again, assuming it is him playing, they are not losing that game. So again, if no Jordan Love stays the same, he's not playing, the Titans are winning this game. No questions asked.
Chad's asking, Love might play. That scare you at all? I answered for you. If he plays, don't take this.
Yeah, I just said that.
Right?
4 times.
Yeah. If he plays, don't take it. If he doesn't play and we're not expecting him to play, I'm with you, Jovan. I think it's all bullshit. We see coaches try to do this all the time, throw off their opponents, saying he still has a chance to play.
Yeah.
I don't think he's fucking seeing the field this week. I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I'd be shocked. The
But wait and see.
50-50 at best quote from Adam Schefter is what really is giving me confidence that it's smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Titans on the ML. If we see Jordan Love still injured and not playing this game.
Yeah.
W's.
Before we go to PrizePicks squares, Jovan, how confident are you that Josh Allen throws a pick this weekend?
Pretty confident.
I'm so
it's not on this graphic, but I mean probably because it's Monday, but favorite play probably of the NFL season so far is the Jags +5. And I think they are going to win that game outright, and everything is going to go wrong for the Bills in that game.
Let's just hope it's one.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's one. Can't be one of those fucking Jets Monday night type games where he throws 3.
Nicky Sims, bro. We were all heavily invested in Josh Allen under picks, man, but it's got to come at some point.
Bills -10. Jags are terrible. Yep, there you go. There's your answer of what's going to happen Monday night, Trent. Because there's also, I mean, that's Monday night with 2 pretty decent sized favorites. Do we think the Commanders are beating the Bengals? I don't.
Wait,
So surely Bengals Bills pays.
There's 2 games on Monday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 goat whales.
I know. I want to fast forward to Monday. I cannot wait for
I know.
that sweat
That'll be
for
sick.
the Commanders game.
Yeah.
That'll be must-see TV. Me bitching about the Commanders losing to the Bengals 50-0
Yep.
in that game. Jamar Chase 400 yards record. All right, let's keep moving here. Jovan, I like the play on the Titans on the ML. I'll be joining you there. And the Ravens, we are all 3 on that play this weekend.
Yep.
Sure. Should be good luck. Let's go to some upsets for the weekend. And yes, chats, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is the Dolphins on the spreads up there for my upset alerts. Probably the nastiest play in any sport this weekend. The Dolphins with no Tua, only getting 4.5 points against the undefeated Seattle Seahawks. I fucking bet. I've been so low on the Seahawks team all season, but they've proved me wrong so far through 2 weeks. Although the 2 teams they played are the fucking Broncos and the Patriots. Give me a break. Come on. Those aren't even real wins. The Dolphins, who wants to bet on them after Tua's out? They've got Skylar Thompson going in, and they're coming off of an atrocious loss, 31-10 against the fucking Bills. They just got embarrassed in that game. Who the heck wants to take them? And why are they not getting a touchdown on the spread? They're on the road against undefeated Seattle. Well, I'll tell you why. It's because they might win this game outright, and they're going to at least keep it within a field goal. This will be a close, low-scoring game. The Dolphins and Skylar Thompson, he's gotten some reps before. Let's not act like Tua doesn't get fucking hurt all the time. Okay, he's gotten some reps before. I think he'll be okay, good enough against Seattle. And I'm leaning on the Dolphins defense to fucking show up for the first time this season and limit Geno Smith's success because I think he's a fraud.
Yeah. I got to say, as much as I love Mike McDonald and I've been slurping him in the Seahawks in this game, I'm worried, not just because of like the crazy line movement. This is the most suspicious line movement I think we've seen so far this NFL season, but this is where Mike McDaniel gets in his fucking bag, dude. This is going to be
Yes. People start asking questions about McDaniel.
Yeah.
Saying, I mean, like a hobo on the sidelines. What's going on? He's about to have the fucking masterclass game call of his life.
And I mean, Mostert's not going to play, it looks like. So, I mean, A-Chain might have 200 total yards. They're going to get in his bag with like the trick Jonnu Smith plays. I think he's going to get Waddle involved too because you're going to have to. But you got 2 really good corners on the outside. So McDaniel's really going to have to bring out all the stops to get everybody else involved. And I think he does. So, I mean, as much as I love the Seahawks, just period, I certainly will not be taking them this week. I might have to join you.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Nasty's play the weekend.
That shit went from 7 to 4.5.
I don't know if I saw it at 7.
I don't know if I saw 7s. I saw
5.5.
I saw 5.5, 6s. Maybe the look ahead was 7 before the Tua adjustment, but still, I mean, at the very least, I saw 5.5 to 4.5 with Skylar Thompson, which is crazy.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Give me Rick.
A little bit.
Javon, Eagles.
Eagles
the
ain't
upset this weekend, huh?
They ain't dead yet, brother. People forget. The same people that are calling them locks to win the division 2 weeks ago when all those plays hit the feed are saying they're the worst team in the NFL after one bad game against the Falcons, which was bad. I mean, the offense didn't look great. The defense giving up that drive at the end of the game was just flat out embarrassing, and I won't really defend them from that. But in this game, the Saints are coming in as the surprise Cinderella team. They're at home. I still think their scheme it works well, but at some point it's going to get tired just because the novelty of it's going to wear off. And even though I do think they find some success on the ground, I feel like after that it's where they're going to struggle, even against a secondary So again, like Trent's underplay, I think plays into this a little bit too. I feel like the Saints stall out in a lot of drives in this game, even if they move the ball. And this is where we see the Saints defense a little bit that we expected coming into the season to not be such the wagon that they are, show up and show a little vulnerability. So I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a bit problem with his legs, just like he was towards the end of last game, even though they didn't pull through, and Saquon's going to have a pretty massive day. So I'm all in regardless. I think AJ Brown is supposed to be out again. Don't really care. A lot of Jalen Hurts involved in this game, and hopefully not from the interception front, like we saw towards the end of last game too.
Yep.
So give me the Eagles on the road to get the win.
This is definitely the right side. Has to be. I just hope you're not getting bamboozled, and the Eagles aren't actually as bad as I've been saying they are.
No,
because we know the Eagles aren't, a bottom 15 team.
Yeah, even if they're not as bad as you're saying they are, I mean, the Saints are also not as good as they've played the first 2 weeks of the season too. And I don't know, people seemed to get there last week when we're talking about the Cowboys game because everybody's on the Cowboys, and after 1 week, script is completely flipped. Overreaction for a week is the story of the NFL. So I will be on the other side of that.
Buy low, sell high. That's what this spot is. Buy low on the Eagles, sell high on the Saints.
Yep.
It's really that simple. Trent, Chargers on the spread. You'll take that +1. You might need it. What do you like about the Chargers?
I love the Chargers in this fucking spot. This is going to be probably the grossest game of the entire Sunday. You got the lowest total on the board, and it's not even close at 35.5, which is insane. But I just think that Harbaugh is going to outcoach him as I look at the +2.5 line movement here. GG.
Okay.
+2.5.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's weird. What?
Yeah, that might be kicked. Keep selling the play, though, but it might be kicked.
Dude. Oh, Herbert's now questionable?
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
Bruh.
Dude, I had a whole sell job for my PP square and everything.
Well,
he's not going to play. That's got to be cap. I just watched it go down to +2.
I feel like it's probably just him on the injury reports, but I did just get the chef bomb on my phone.
Yeah.
It's like Herbert officially listed as questionable.
High Eagles for anything.
Regardless, they could drag out that Easton Stick fucker.
Oh, he's terrible.
He's so bad.
He's fucking terrible, dudes.
No, would it be Heineke or who is it?
It'd be Heineke. All jokes aside, yeah.
Wow.
Which, sure. Put him in there. That guy's a winner. He makes plays. He wins games.
Regardless, it's just going to be Tomlin versus Harbaugh here. And the more I talk about it, the more I just fucking love that under. But I think that Harbaugh just outcoaches them. I think that the Chargers have a lot of momentum after a 2-0 start. Surely the Steelers are also 2-0, but they got to come back down to earth, dude. They're squeaking out these wins and doing it with their defense. Sure, Fields has looked good, but I think they've scored 1 touchdown in their 2 wins. Not that the Chargers have been much better, but it's going to be a close game. I'm going to need every point I can get in the spread, so keep climbing. But Harbaugh said Stick is the backup. Oh, GG.
Wow, that's crazy if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, chalk that. But if it's Stick.
I did not have Rams last week, all right? I was just tailing a Hans. Shit wager. Get out of here, man.
You stood on business for the Rams, and you called me a dumbass for the Cardinals, and you laughed in my face when I sold it. I remember it. I was there.
I'm joking, Ahan. I nuked that shit. It was a shit wager.
Yeah, I remember that. All right. And W. Ahan meeting David Ortiz as well. Holy shit.
No, if Ahan ever meets Manny Ramirez, that will be the day he gets blocked.
Dude.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Daniel, I think you're right, Bree. All right, let's keep moving and grooving here. Trent, I don't know if that's the square side or not. I mean, let's figure out and hear what happens with, Herbert, obviously. But I'll be honest, I thought the Steelers would be, laying 3 here at home, 3.5 at home. As an undefeated squad who's overperformed so far this season, Steelers typically get some respect at home. Really tough place to play. Maybe that's a good thing for the Chargers. And maybe it's Harbaugh's season. Maybe he's already turned around the culture over there. Their defense looks night and day already. Let's see if they can wheel Harbaugh out there. Or Herbert out there.
Yeah.
With that high ankle sprain.
But this QB news could be big for my PrizePicks square that I'm going to talk about here.
Yeah. Let's hear it. Or not yet, but
let's go to meet on tape plays. Sure. And what do you know? He's got the Chargers again.
Yeah, you're the only one with a new play.
Well, I'm super rattled that fucking Herbert. I didn't even know he was hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we can give an asterisk for both of our plays. It's only if, I guess yours is if Herbert plays, mine is if Malik Willis plays. Then Krabs is just beat on tape no matter what.
The Broncos, the worst team in football. And let me go ahead and give you that sell job. My favorite play of the weekend, Jovan, I'm sorry, put your earmuffs on. It's fading the Red Hot Bucks, who've looked damn near invincible at this rate, and backing the Broncos, who look like they're playing a different sport than the other teams. I mean, they look like they're playing with blindfolds on, no arms or legs, out there on the field, just fucking wiggling around. They look absolutely atrocious. Could not look worse. Bo Nix, the QB they went all in for, Sean Payton putting his fucking name on the line for Bo Nix, he literally could not look worse. He's the worst rookie QB so far. Terrible. No chance they keep this within a touchdown, right? Like Jovan said earlier, the NFL, it's a what have you done for me lately business, right? And people overreact to recency bias here. And with the Bucs getting out to a hot start, I want to sell high with Tampa Bay here at home. How the heck are they going to get up for this game? How are they going to get up for an 0-2 Broncos team that just lost to Pitt and put up 6 points while doing it, and then lost to Seattle as well in the first game of the season? How the fuck are points being scored here by the Broncos? Well, I'll tell you what, Seattle and Pitt's defenses have impressed me a ton so far to start the season, so I'll give Bo Nix a tad of a break. And Sean Payton's career is on the line here, folks. If he doesn't come through and Bo Nix isn't the guy, he's done. His legacy, whatever's remaining of it, it's gone. Doesn't exist anymore, and he's probably getting fucking canned. I want to back their offense, who's played against two tough, sneaky tough opponents in the first 2 weeks of the season, and fade the Bucs, who have played two fucking cupcake teams. They played a Lions team who forgot how to play football, and they played my Commanders week 1. That was a fucking freebie, right? This Bucs team has not faced a challenge yet. I'll take the points with the Broncos, the nastiest play of the weekend.
Yeah, I like that.
Jovan, would you suggest staying away from your Bucs for the surge?
I would, because I would say that I still think they win this game. I think it falls in the number. I think they win by like 3 or 4, but it's probably the most obvious spot of the weekend, I would argue, if you exclude like Monday Night Football and Bengals Commanders, and look how those have done the first 2 weeks of the season.
It's any given Sunday, anything can happen, chat. What I saw last weekend,
this feels like Ravens Raiders to me.
Biggest shit show I've ever seen. So I'll give Krabs his respect here. I can't chirp.
No.
Yeah, people absolutely hate that play's guts.
I hate it.
That's how you know.
Chat absolutely hates that play. And you know what? I'm not surprised. It's the fucking Broncos plus 6.5. They are terrible. What have they shown us yet? Nothing. But unfortunately, this is how you have to bet.
Yeah. Don't forget who the coach of that team is, too. Sean Payton. Not like he's a stranger to playing the Bucs or playing in Tampa.
Sure. Good points. A lot of games against the Saints, or for the Saints against the Bucs back in the day.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Yeah, I love the Broncos. I want to hear about we already went over those other 2 plays as well.
Yeah, we did.
Right.
We're good.
Sure. PrizePicks squares for NFL. We will power through these puppies. I know we're taking a minute today, chat, but we got a lot of shit to go over. We appreciate your patience. And Chad is already splooging for Jordan Whittington. W's there. But let me go ahead and power through my 2 squares. I want to fade J.K. Dobbins and his rushing yards, which, I mean, it surprised the heck out of me going over to the PrizePicks popular tab. You guys know how I work and operate. I want to take a gander at what are the most popular squares up there on PrizePicks for the weekend, especially with NFL, where, in my opinion, money matters. And I'm looking at the popular tab on PrizePicks for the NFL this weekend. I'm not seeing Mahomes. I'm not seeing, a GOAT. I'm seeing J.K. fucking Dobbins up on the board. The most popular square of the weekend has twice as many lineups locked in than the second next guy, Alvin Kamara. This dude's got 121,000 people back in his rush yards. And I'll tell you what, looking at the chart and watching him run so far this season, especially last week against Carolina, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, nobody on earth is taking his less than rushing yards this weekend. Well, it's a little bit of a different test, if you ask me, compared to that D-line against the Raiders and the Panthers, compared to the fucking Steelers D-line on the road. I mean, good luck. That is night and day. In my opinion, not only is Gus Edwards going to be more of a factor in this offense as well, and it won't be as much of a J.K. Dobbins show, they're not going to be able to run the ball as much as they want anyways against this stout Steelers D-line because they're fucking elite. Good luck. How are they going to do it? There's a reason why these 2 running backs have looked so good so far this season for the Chargers. It's because they played 2 of the worst rush defenses I've ever seen in my life. Complete overreaction. Let's fade Dobbins this week. Take his less than rushing yards. This might make you guys feel better. His rush attempts this week is extremely low. After a great week last week, you'd expect him to get more carries. You'd expect maybe their offensive coordinator, who was also the OC for them, Greg Roman in Baltimore, these two running backs, when they were both there, Jovan, you'd expect maybe to lean more on Dobbins after a great performance. Nope, he's still standing on business saying we're splitting carries. That's what we do. Running back by committee offense. And Dobbins, after having 17 rush attempts last week, Jovan, he's up for 12.5 this week.
How about?
Interesting. Yeah, I'll go ahead and fade J.K. Dobbins and his rushing yards. I like his receiving yards. And Trent, you'll talk about that one in a moment. I do, but he's not running for 56. No chance. And then Derek Carr, less than 1.5 passing touchdowns. This might be one of the nastier PrizePicks squares up there on the board. Extremely greened out chart. Saints offense has looked the most elite out of any offense in football this season. Not so fast. Let's fade the heck out of them this week, just like Trent said with that under in the game. And I'll fade Derek Carr and his passing touchdowns. If anything, maybe it's just the Kamara show in this contest. Yeah. I'm not seeing Derek Carr throwing 2 touchdowns. He's had some bombs so far to start the season. I think the Eagles at least limit those. And maybe the Saints have some success moving the rock, but I'm not seeing 2 touchdown passes from Derek Carr. The under is juiced to -125 on the books. And the fact that square is even up, it looks like the easiest more than on the entire fucking board this weekend. So I'll go ahead and fade it.
Love that. And I mean, regardless of what you think about whether the Saints are going to handle the Eagles, like everybody seems to think, most vulnerable spot for the Eagles is very obviously in the run game. So yeah. You can lean on Kamara show if you really think that. So I like that. I don't usually like the passing touchdown fades Krabs, but I like that one.
Good. Jovan?
Yep, just like last week, came in here with 2 confident ones that I was willing to die on, Rico Dowdle and Brian Thomas. Those were green. It's going to play out the same way here because I feel fantastic about both these 2 squares. The Rams, the whole story of like that Rams 49ers game is injuries. So like that presents opportunity. A lot of people, whether it's waiver wire or talking about props that are going to be bet for the Rams, a lot of people love DeMarcus Robinson, and he can get his fair share too. But Jordan Whittington's the guy who I'm going to be reaching and starting in a couple fantasy leagues just straight up too. The only reason why you've seen some of DeMarcus Robinson and you haven't been able to see some of him and like you saw Whittington in the preseason is because they play Whittington in the Cooper Kupp / Puka role in the slot where he's going to be getting a lot of touches, especially because last week when they were down guys post Cooper Kupp, Stafford got the ball out super quick. Not that he doesn't do that all the time anyway, but the focus was on getting these guys involved super quick, super early. Now you have a full week to get Jordan Whittington involved in the offense. He's going to get fed early. He's going to get fed often. He's going to be the guy that's going to take the massive step. If you didn't draft him in Dynasty or don't have him in Dynasty or you can get him before this week, get him now because I think this is the blow-up game, first big opportunity for him to show really everything. So I like his receiving yards. I think there's a lot of ways you could target him. They just put up a bunch of squares, whether it's receptions that like rose 40 cents to the overnight or the receiving yards or anything. I think the ceiling is really, really high for Whittington. So I will be on Jordan Whittington a lot of things this week. Then I will also be on my GOAT, Sam Laporta. He's been disappointing so far this season, but a lot of the reason for that, they've been giving some of the work to JMO, like some of the same routes that he runs. But now Amon-Ra comes into this game banged up. I feel like he's going to be slotting a little more on the outside, more than in the slot this game. So that opens opportunity for Laporta. You also have the Cardinals that run a lot of man coverage. Like that's where Laporta feasts in the first couple weeks. They've been facing zone defense teams, which is not really his strength. But the coach, this is like every time that you see in the news a big time story about a guy not getting targets. A lot of time it's a wide receiver, not necessarily a tight end. What happens the next week after the coach addresses it 50 times? They get fed. They were just talking with Ben Johnson like really all this week, the last couple of days. Why is Laporta not getting targets? Why is he not getting fed? And he's talking about us. Some weeks it's Amon-Ra. Some weeks it's JMO. Some weeks it's going to be Laporta. Guess which 2 of those 3 guys already had their weeks in the first 2 weeks? It was the other 2. Laporta is getting absolutely fed, and especially considering the Lions struggled in the red zone against the Bucs. Who was their red zone guy the entirety of last season? Samuel J. So you're going to see him early and often and probably in the end zone this week.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Trent, you got some PrizePicks squares you want to go over here?
Yeah, I love Kyler Murray's rush yards. I think he smacked it both weeks back to back. I mean, he's just him. Like, I know Krabs probably isn't in a rush to take this square. It's a little square itself. But I mean, in a game where Javon's saying he's going to have to go band for band with Goff, I think He absolutely is right about that, but I think he's going to have to be creative in doing it in his own way, considering how good the pass rush is for the Lions. But I see Kyler having no problem getting this. I think he gets probably 50-plus rush yards, but he's looked insane in the pocket and escaping it, and he's going to have to do so with Hutchinson breathing down his fucking neck every play.
Yep. They got a good D-line.
So forcing him out of the pocket, he's going to have to get creative. And I love that. So Kyler Murray's rush yards. And J.K. Dobbins receiving yards. This is super random out of me, but it just stuck out on the screen for me. And I thought that considering how low of a total this game is, especially with if Herbert might be out, they have that fucker stick in the game. He's going to have to do some dump offs to Dobbins. And I did a little plus EV research here. The Green Book has Dobbins' longest reception at 9.5, while his line on the Green Book was 11.5, which I thought was weird. And on PrizePicks, the line for his receiving yards alone is 9.5. So I just thought that was weird as fuck. The longest reception line was 9.5, and on PrizePicks, the regular line is 9.5.
Yeah, so those will get bumped up, I'm assuming. So we should probably lock this in ASAP.
For sure should get bumped up.
That'll get bumped up to 11.5 probably.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, dude, I love that angle because I talked about why Dobbins isn't going to be able to run the ball in this game against that D-line, but that does not mean they're not going to be able to dink and dunk. That's exactly what they're going to have to do to try to move the rock down the field if the run game isn't working. So I like both running backs on the Chargers receiving yards, Gus and JK. I think that's a really sharp square, Trent. I do.
Let's go.
Sure. And
then Kyler Murray rush yards. I agree with the angle of, yes, the Lions have a great D-line, and he's going to be mobile. Let's just hope he escapes and gets out of Hutch's wrath because that guy's a freak.
Yeah, he is a freak, but Kyler's also a freak.
Yep. All right. PrizePicks squares for NFL this weekend.
Leave that up there.
Yeah, leave it up real quick. Trent's going to lock it in and send a link like a beast.
Oh, we have two same players, dude.
What are you going to do?
Run a 4-man.
Yeah, let's do
leave
a
it out.
4-man.
Run a 4-man, leave it out.
I kind of love the receiving yards. Do you have another play?
I mean, yeah, I could find a square.
Okay.
Another square if you want to pivot.
I mean, we can talk some squares real quick.
Trent, I can sneak you one real quick.
Wow, Joshy Nugget in the big 2-4.
DeAndre Swift, more than 13.5 rush attempts.
God damn it, Josh. You're in your bag.
Let's see.
Okay, I'm doing that. I'm swapping that for the Dobbins rush. And chat, we were all going to have Jamar Chase on our card, and we opted out because it's on Monday.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
That will be
we'll get to that on Monday, but we're all taking it.
Yeah.
That will be in my 5K whale.
Yeah. I might
That
not
and
go full amount of money on that.
Need two more.
2 more squares.
2 more that I can sleep at night knowing it's sold. It's got to come to me. It has to.
Has to.
Not forced.
So wait, what are your certified so far?
Laporta and Jamar.
Okay.
I don't know what play for Jamar. Is it just
that could be a Krabs question.
It's probably just receptions.
It might just be.
I don't even see it up, gents. Am I tripping?
Chase?
Yeah. They don't have his squares up yet.
Yeah, he has his
Well, they do.
touchdown receiving.
Yeah, they've got
6.5
some.
receptions.
Here we go. Here we
Yeah.
go. Spelled his first name wrong. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't even
6.5
try.
receptions. I mean,
The charts are funny. Obviously, it's the Commanders, so that's the reason. But just looking at it is pretty funny.
he's getting 100 receiving yards too. Like, literally, take your pick. If I was going to take one, I would probably go with his receptions. But every single square on this fucking board is going to smack for him. Every single one.
Damn.
It's going to be ugly.
Receptions or yards?
I think it's receptions. I really do. Gosh, man, because we literally play prevent fucking defense because we have to.
I feel like that doesn't help him necessarily, though. Because I'm trying to think of, like, how often is Jamar going in the slot?
I
feel like it's not.
He's not a slot
incredibly
guy, but he's
I
a
know.
screen guy. They'll hit him with some screens.
That's true.
They like
That's
to hit him
true.
with screens, get the ball in his hand. And that's scary.
I'm just trying to think because, like, I mean, obviously Godwin was in the slot, and Godwin's Godwin, and he feasted. But like Mike Evans had the big plays, not necessarily the volume. So I don't know how they're going to use Jamar.
I feel like if he gets 7 receptions, he's like auto over 85, and I feel like he could get 5 receptions and still go over 80 now.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. I feel like he could be a big play guy. He'll get like a screen or 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like he's getting chunk plays against the Manders now.
I mean, honestly, both are probably just going to show.
I'm trying to think of what – I mean, Malik Neighbors, they moved him all around the field last weekend. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was doing everything.
They kind of
didn't
have to
matter.
do that, though.
Yeah, I
right?
feel like he
they
doesn't have
no
an established role, really.
Is T back this week? I know he's back at practice. Is he playing?
He's not, right?
T. Higgins? I don't think so.
I saw he came back to practice.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, I don't really think it'll matter because
Yeah.
I think he's going to get like 8 for 110, but
Practice for second straight day today.
There's the link to the 6th man with a Joshy Nug.
W's.
love that.
W's. All right.
Maybe we can talk through some other squares on the board. Maybe something will come to Trent in the process.
For NFL,
Yeah. Breeze through the board. Are there any like honorable mentions that you're super into, Krabs?
well, that Josh Allen interception square is going to hit. So that one probably should be banked somewhere.
Yeah.
No, dude, he's so throwing a fucking bang. Like so. Oh, what about Lamar rush yards?
Yeah. Lamar rush yards. I like that.
Dude,
And
those 3, I sleep at night.
you do sleep at night, dude.
Trent, you want to screen share PrizePicks?
Sure.
Could be it.
I like
It's
that
not loading on
Lamar
this computer.
1.5 pass rush receiving tutties, but I know that's a curse square.
Curse, dude. And I'm saying that as a Lamar touchdown better.
What's cursed?
That the 1.5 Lamar combo touchdowns, dude. Reinvents ways.
Those are cursed. Fuck that.
Reinvents ways. Even though I do think he's green on that.
Lamar in Dallas, dude.
Lamar in Dallas, nationally televised, pretty much primetime afternoon game. The only one I think that actually means something in that slot because the other one's injury bowl. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my.
I feel like that could be one you go to bed with, but you probably want both squares in there though.
Oh my.
That would be electric.
Lamar Jamar. Love that.
Wow. Gotta be.
They've got Skylar Thompson more than 7.5 rush yards on the board.
Dude, I mean, while we're talking about the game, these aren't really Trent squares, I guess, but I don't know how A-Chain is not getting 1 million receiving yards in that game. I know that I guess the chart's not incredibly accurate because it's got last year's stuff on it, but if you're Skylar Thompson with Mike McDaniel in the offense, I really just don't see a world where it's not schemed up to be 1 million touches for A-Chain, especially with the 2 corners on the outside on Jalen Waddle and Tyreek.
I agree. I like DJ Moore a lot this weekend as well.
I could be in on that.
I like his more than 64.5 receiving yards. He's gotten plenty of the target share. Their offense just does not look good, but he's still getting 30% of the targets. And there's been a lot of chirps and bullshit on Twitter about DJ Moore saying things, last year, like I'd rather have Justin Fields than Caleb Williams, or he's better than Caleb. Like, what is he supposed to say? At that time, he was his fucking starting QB. He said the right thing at the time, and now they're using that clip to just for no reason this year. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
DJ Moore.
They just took off Kyler Murray rush yards after I locked that in.
Damn.
They'll probably put it back up and bump it.
Huh.
That's what they did with a couple of squares I was looking at this morning.
Huh. But I like DJ Moore against a secondary over there in Indianapolis. It's really nothing special. I think he absolutely grubs and has a career day with Caleb Williams, and honestly gets closer to 100 yards compared to 64 where he's at right now. That's some disrespect.
I could be out on that. I definitely feel like you should get involved too, Krabs, because I was looking at this and I was having trouble picking a guy from the Broncos, but Todd Bowles is going to send the fucking house on Bo Nix. If you think they're going to keep it close, somebody's going to have to do the work underneath. And I was looking at Greg Dulcich, who I think is going to be the guy. Jaleel McLaughlin has a weird receiving yard swear, and he's been fucking terrible, but also looks like Devon Vele is going to play this week. And he had, 8 catches for 39 yards. So he's very clearly the underneath guy when healthy. He did that against the Seahawks, who gave him similar looks. I feel like you might need to get invested somewhere in there.
They've got some Vele squares up after a great performance. They've got his receiving yards up, his longest reception up.
Well, it was week 1. He didn't play last week because he was hurt. So now he's back into the fold, it seems. Seems like it's lining up for him to play. Could be it.
Okay.
Siobhan, what's your gut telling you, man?
About Jamar?
Yeah.
I mean, gut tells me yards, but it's also, we're going to get to Monday night, and you're going to see an absurd amount of Jamar Chase. So at least that'll make me a little uncomfy, but I'd be okay with dying on that hill if I were you.
Krabs, I guess I should be asking you.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Terry McLaurin's going to be getting 4 receptions in this game. He might not do anything about him, but they're going to give him the ball at least 4 times. And if you're talking about Chase, I would still go catches personally, but I really don't think it fucking matters. The guy's going to have 100 yards and 10 catches. But Terry McLaurin, we've made it very clear in our media pressers with the coaches this week. The media is pissed we're not giving Terry the ball. The fans are pissed. They're calling Terry moose shit. They're saying he's a fraud. Everybody's freaking out about Terry McLaurin. The OC came out this week and said, Cliff Kingsbury said, it's my fault. We need to give him the ball more. We're going to draw up some plays to give him the rock. He's catching the ball at least 4 times. That I know. And he's up for 4 receptions. I don't care what the chart looks like. Doesn't matter. He's catching the rock 4 times.
It's like a Laporta narrative. Or even, you know who was like that yesterday, Trent? They were talking about that about Pop Douglas, about getting him more involved in the offense for like the entire week in media. And what do you know? He splooged.
Huh. Could be Terry McLaurin day.
Could be Terry, dude. I mean, I'd be willing to go to the grave with that Monday night too.
I know, but Trent's not going to take 2 guys in the same game for a weekend nuke lineup.
That's fair.
I know he's looking for Sunday squares.
That's fair.
I mean, these 3 right here, dude.
Lamar, Laporta, Chase. I mean, that's a good 3. It's a great 3 to start with.
Doesn't need to be locked in now, but I'm thrilled to be looking for just one more. Hurts
less than a pick.
He ain't putting a pick square in here, dude.
I'll tell you what.
What is it missing? What is it missing? Is it missing Goff passing yards? No. Because we got Laporta.
Yeah, we got Laporta. I mean,
it's missing either another wide receiver or running back.
Yeah, you probably need a running back in there.
Yeah, it does need a running back. Is it Saquon?
I mean, I'll tell you this, Trent. Do you want it to be goats or do you want it to be green?
I want it to be fucking green.
Because I will put my meat on the line for Jordan Whittington. Full blame if it does not go green. I have the utmost confidence that he is getting fed from the start. He ain't Lamar, he ain't Laporta, he ain't Chase, but he's green.
That is so scary, chat.
It's very scary.
Did you already take him?
What?
Trent?
You could take A-Chain as well. We talked about him earlier. Chat's gassing him up as well. W. Barty Bart.
I do like A-Chain, dude. I mean, that's a goat.
What if it was always Bobby Witt and Jordan Whittington?
James Conner.
Bobby Whittington.
What are you guys going to get Gus Edwards?
Bobby Whittington.
I like Gus receiving
if
yards.
Herbert's out.
Yeah,
they're going to hand the ball off 50 times.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, his rushing might be interesting because you're already fading J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, it's kind of like what I did with Dowdle and Zeke. Like, J.K. Dobbins, I know he got a little bit, like, between the tackles the last couple of weeks, but Gus is more the between the tackles guy. I feel like it's pretty tough to run outside on the Steelers. So the usage could line up.
And I don't see the Steelers, like, tacking on points where and putting the Chargers in a spot where like they have to throw the ball every time.
Yeah, it's also true.
I just don't see that happening.
Low total. Offense stinks. Chargers defense honestly looks really good through 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We knew they had the guys.
And if he's going to split carries, he gets 15 carries.
Yeah.
He's fucking getting 33.5 rushing.
Yeah, Gus is up for 10 carries, and Dobbins is up for 12.5, I believe. A lot of carries are expecting for an underdog on the road against the Steel Curtain.
I mean, I got to say, I'm just looking at it. I wish they had a rush and receiving combo for A-Chain, but like that is a goat that I would be willing to put head on pillow. Like why in the hell is the spread coming down their way and so close in the first place with a backup quarterback? Skylar Thompson probably ain't going to be Tom Brady. Like this is the gadget guy. They give 1 million touches, and you have just like yesterday. I mean, Garrett Wilson scored, but Christian Gonzalez held them to like 30 yards. You got Tariq Woolen and Devon Witherspoon on Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. The fuck do you think Mike McDaniel's going to do? You got to give A-Chain 1 million touches. And Mostert is out. Yes.
I want it on record that they do have a Stroud pick up there again.
You know he ain't taking that, man.
We had one last week.
I know. We
Dude,
had one.
he's had 3. He's had 3.
Literally had one, bro.
We just got a little Dave Nug in the group chat. He
What
likes.
do you say?
He likes. What was the square? Well, I just forget about it. Aaron Jones, half a rushing receiving tutty.
An Aaron Jones tutty.
Damn, he's up there.
I don't know if I've seen that up there this year.
Huh.
Against the Texans? It's an odd square.
Interesting. I like points in that game.
I
like the Vikings in that game. Aaron Jones has said, if you drafted me in fantasy last year, pick me up this year, I'll make up for it. He's like the only guy vocally out there who's like, pick me up in your fantasy league, man. He like loves it.
Yeah, he does love it.
It's kind of weird, but interesting.
We were looking at Josh Allen touchdowns.
What about Diggs and Min? No, I haven't heard shit about that game all stream.
It's going to be Tank Dell Day, if anyone.
It's just a tough defense to crack right now.
Tank Dell had -3 receiving yards last week. In the last 3 weeks combined, he has 37 receiving yards total. He's up for 51.5 in a game against one of the worst secondaries in football, the Vikings, and Tank Dell and CJ Stroud are best friends. I would not be surprised if Tank Dell says, hey, buddy, why the fuck are you not throwing me the ball? Last week I had -3 yards.
Yeah. Nico Collins.
51.5. And Nico had the Nico game last week.
He's a little banged up, too. He's been not practicing for some of this week.
He was getting destroyed in that last game. He probably got tackled 100 times.
Trent, he's saying James Conner fantasy in chat. He'll chop dick off if it doesn't hit.
That's crazy.
No, you won't.
No, you fucking won't.
That could be a good look, though. Not saying that to make fun of it, because I kind of like that, too. I know we like a lot of stuff in that game with the over, but
Chat's asking if we see Jawan Jennings' fantasy score on the board. I do. 8.5. I like it. I do. I'd probably rather just go with Javon's Whittington angle in that game with the receiver on the other team because I've never seen him more confident in a fucking square in weeks. So
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and leave that there.
I will die on that hill this weekend.
Okay. A-Chain could be a good look. Yeah.
I do feel like you wait for an A-Chain, whether it's rushing receiving yards or fantasy score, something's got to be up there. I mean, I feel like Skylar Thompson's going to throw him 10 dump downs, dude. I just feel like the ceiling is so high with what we think is going to happen in that game.
Yeah, it'll come to me, man.
It'll come to you. We'll see what speaks.
All right.
At least now you have some ammo.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving and grooving here. We've been on here for a while already. We still got a couple action items to get through here, and we got to get Joshy off of here. He's been fucking grinding for 3 hours in a row.
Dude.
Javon, I know you have a couple ATTS scores for the weekends.
I do.
Do you want to let the people know about them right now? We'll probably craft the 5 guys in Hail Mary this afternoon off stream. And post a video about that. But if you want to go over some of your ATTSs, please.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hinted at it, even though that square that's at 1.5 is super cursed. I love Lamar to get in the end zone this week. Like I said, it's like a Ellie and LA narrative, big players going big games that are nationally televised. You got back against the fucking wall. The predictable thing, obviously, just like we talked about with Hurts and Saquon, is Derrick Henry getting in the end zone. What do you think is going to happen? They may not have a brotherly opportunity, which is not what Lamar does anyway, but I feel like you're getting a little RPO pull at the line, and Lamar's going to announce that he's back with a little trip to the end zone. So I like him. I'll tell you just where my head's generally at for the graphic. I like him. I also like Tony Pollard up against the Packers, regardless of what the game level bet ends up being, if Jordan Love plays or not. The one thing that's not going to change is Tony Pollard's matchup against the Green Bay run defense. I think they're going to lean on that a lot, especially if they're in a W game script, because they're going to be winning against Malik Willis, but he's going to tear them up. I love him to get in the end zone as well. Big Dave, I'm kind of in on that with Aaron Jones. And then I'm obviously taking Laporta. The Lions' red zone struggles against the Bucks. Who do you go to change that? You change up the scheme a little bit, especially when the Cardinals are going to be in a lot of man coverage. You find Laporta in the back of the end zone once or maybe twice. So that's where my head is at the immediate right now.
Okay. Dude, I'm so pissed there's one run in this fucking Cubs game.
How deep?
Of course.
It's already fucking top 5, dude.
GG.
Chalks and Nerfy, and then no more.
GG.
Of course.
Thanks, Shady Beeve.
Was he on the over too?
He laid -150 for the Nats. Team total 1.5 versus 5.
Okay.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, that is not going to hit. Trevor Williams might just be him.
He might
just
be
him.
Might be.
Huh. All right. Let's lock back in here, gents. Jovan, I like those touchdown angles. I will go ahead and throw this out there one more time for the peeps. Terry McLaurin's probably scoring a touchdown this weekend. I've already seen it. And he is catching 4 passes. If he doesn't, I'll do something bad.
I'll for sure tap in.
I'll do something
Terry
bad.
Squares.
I'll do some bad punishment that you guys say in chat on Monday if Terry McLaurin, or on Tuesday, I guess, if Terry McLaurin doesn't catch 4 passes. And I'm saying that now because he'll be at 4.5 come Monday night.
Just might.
I'm getting that WCLV in there. All right. Real quick, MLB plays. Chat is begging for some MLB winners from the squads. I'm just going to comb through here and see if there's anything else besides the Sharp report that we already went over, chat, that we like on the Diamond today. I'll throw out some games. If you guys have a play in it, let me know what you like. If not, just stay silent. We'll move. We'll groove. How about the Pirates and the Reds?
Should be an over, but the way those teams and those games are going, it's probably not going to be easy, but I do like O'Neal Cruz.
Okay.
He has run square up. I'll be taking that against Nick Martinez.
Okay.
Bro.
What?
O'Neal Cruz this late in the year, man.
Toronto, Tampa. I'll take Tampa first 5ers on the ML.
Yep.
Fade Barrios.
Sure.
Any Orioles love today with Corbin Burns on the bump? -170. Should be frick.
Ooh, I love that. Tigers at plus check.
Wonder why. Montero +140.
Legit done with that moose shit team, bro. It's not even funny anymore.
Yeah, the Orioles.
I mean, yeah, they're struggling. And the Tigers are playing great right now. I thought that was some respect for Corbin Burns today, to be honest. But we know what the Orioles do. When they're favorites, when they should win, they don't. It's when they're dogs and when nobody wants them when they win.
Yep.
So probably is the fucking Tigers today. Sorry, Gates. Braves and Miami. Morton versus Belazzo. Belazzo, by the way, throws like 90 miles an hour. So I don't know how Atlanta deals with no velo, but that game might get ugly. Maybe over.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't want to fade the Marlins after they just lost by, what was it, 16?
Yep.
So maybe they score some runs of their own off Morton, but I don't know if I can see a world where Belazzo pitches well. Trent, you're seeing beach balls right now, dude? Fucking Mead Olson.
Yes,
Beach balls, dude. I wouldn't mind riding that streak a little bit.
I'm down.
Mets ML against the Phillies, catching some steam, up to a favorite now.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go back to it, but
anything in Minnesota, Boston? Looks like we got a random McGee making a start for Boston. Fitz, that might be DJ Fitz.
DJ Fitz on mound.
Our Fitz is making his debut for the Red Sox. It looks like against Festa.
Might be a free fade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a bullpen guy.
Trent, you riding with DJ Fitz at plus 100, or are you taking the Twins?
The Twins are rat pissed. Give me DJ Fitz.
Okay. Love the pick. We know, hey, DJ Fitz might not be the most talented, but we know he's got a heart. Okay, DJ Fitz ML plus 100. I'll take that against Minnesota. Sure. Fade the rat shit Twins on the road. Seattle, Texas, Kirby DeGrom, Trent, Rangers ML. Sure. DeGrom strikeouts. Jovan. I don't know if I have an argument or a counter there for him today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not all in on the Mariners. I'll tell you that.
Would love to sit here and chirp you, Trent, and say it's Seattle ML today, but after yesterday, I'm out on Seattle. Like we cashed. Let's get the fuck out of there. And DeGrom's catching some steam. That total's low. His strikeouts is high. I'll let you have that one. It might smack. Angels, Astros. Astros minus 1.5. Zach Gallen, Milwaukee. Jovan, I'm going to give you the floor again here. Let the people know it's good with tonight.
Taking the over, but it's more of a Colin Rea fade against the D-backs bats than a Gallen fade. Super rare, but I do think Gallen gets a couple runs, obviously. But
Okay.
D-backs more than anything.
If you could keep shitting out some PP squares, that'd be great.
Jovan sweats tonight for that game.
Yep, we will be there.
We'll be sweating out the season-long lineup.
Yep.
Where are the Bookit hats? Jay Thorpe, we got them right here, bro. You like them? You like what you see?
Pack just touched down.
Can we backtrack a minute? Go to any PP squares in Houston?
I mean, you have Jordan. That's about it.
Any PP squares in Kansas City?
Kansas City. Oh. Mason Black against Michael Waka. It's kind of a high total, even though it's in Kansas City. I'm a little surprised to see that. Maybe go to your goats in that game.
Word. Okay.
What about Kyle Isbell, more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs?
Isbell Bonds. Goat. Wouldn't hit that.
Any
So-
PP squares? Oh, go ahead, Krabs.
We have Yuri Gurriel up for the Royals, bro. In an Astros uni. That's so weird.
Dude, he's him. He's the only one who wanted it against Scooball.
He's been on fire of late,
Yeah, he's been tapped.
Hmm.
Tappage, dude.
Any PP squares in Milwaukee?
Definitely will be some PP squares in Milwaukee. I saw Willie Adames lurking, and I do very conveniently have the jersey on me. That might be the guy that I'd take against Gallen.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be it. But D-backs I probably still need to dive into a little bit because I think Ray's giving up turkeys.
Okay. Any PP squares in St. Louis?
Nah, fuck that game.
Fuck that game. Any in New York or in Oakland?
Garrett Cole against JT Ginn. I think I'm good on that one too.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
Any PP squares in San Diego?
Ew, Crochet and Moose Grove. I mean, you really want to get involved in that game? Or is that just a throw, a dart throw?
Just getting a pulse check.
Quick pulse check. I respect it. I don't really have too much of a pulse for the rest of these games.
Anything in LA?
Tiny under fantasy score, Krabs?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do it.
Krabs, man. Krabs.
All right, so I have O'Neal Cruz to score, Mead Olson fantasy, Bobby Witt fantasy, Adames hit run RBI, Megatron receiving yards. What was your other square?
Peterson walks. You're talking about sharp report squares?
Oh, Peterson walks.
Yeah, we can finalize the slip once we get off this. But
Right.
we got some ammo.
That 4-man right here could be air, though.
That could be paw, dude.
This
That'd be
one,
paw.
that could be paw.
O'Neal, Olson, Bobby, and Willie. That could be air. That could be air. Well, all right. We probably should get the sharp report, or not sharp report,
Yeah.
squad ride up and moving here.
I'm down. Let's run it. Let's run that shit.
Get it grooving.
Let
Hold
me
up.
think.
Hold up.
Tell that.
Had to do it.
Juice Grant, he doesn't ask for my plays. He doesn't take them. He just takes the balance. So I don't even worry about it anymore. I just move on and just keep pushing along. Yep. Squad ride for today, gents. Let's lock in for 5 more here. All right. Let's find some winners for tonight. Trent, respectfully, we might have to put San Jose State in this squad ride vote.
That's okay.
Any other college football that you guys are like, yeah, that has to go in there?
I mean, dude, I like Q's, dude.
Q's is up to -9.
Q's.
San Jose State up to +13.
Jesus.
Wow.
Dude.
Trent CLV.
What's up?
You got CLV on Wazzu.
+13.5. No. I mean, I have seen a lot of San Jose State love today as well.
I was looking at the splits though, and they're not public at all.
No,
Yeah.
people are taking them. I don't know why.
Dude, I mean, I think Q's mucks. I just can't get the picture out of my head of that this is another Friday night game where Stanford's on the same line that they should have had no business covering against TCU in that game. And now they got to go cross country as a rat shit secondary. And Kyle McCord's been really damn good and prove it.
-9.
Yeah. Put that in there.
Hmm.
So we really don't have all that much else.
I think he keeps San Jose State in there.
Definitely keep San Jose
All right,
State.
let's put both those in there.
Yeah.
MLB. Let's not let it get swept, gents. Look, I know there's pigskin being thrown around tonight, but still some MLB plays on the diamond that can make us some coins.
Still some plays.
I really like my Rays play, but I understand that both those teams are not really playing for playoff implications. So I understand if you don't want to put that in there. But I do like the Rays first 5 -0.5 against Toronto. Some other straight bets that I'm liking. I mean, the Cubs Nats is over right now, and that's the fucking worst play of all time. So thank God we got that one out of the way. I'd say probably Rays first 5 ML.
Yeah, I won't argue from that. You can put that in there.
Are there any other baseball winners that we're missing?
I mean, I like that over in Arizona, Milwaukee, but I just don't know that I need another compounded importance to it personally.
Okay. And I don't even
I'm requesting I get 1 chance.
What's your chance?
Wait, do you guys do this weekend squad rides here right now?
We'll probably do them offline. We'll do college football tomorrow morning. We'll do NFL Sunday.
Okay.
What do you have in mind?
Well, it would have to be for today then, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, the under in the Eagles game.
I want.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put that under in the Eagles game, we can put that in the poll for Sunday. I like that play.
Need that in the poll.
Yeah, if that's what you want to put in there.
Gladly put that in the poll.
We can put that in there on Sunday. For tonight, what were your straight bets that you're loving tonight again, Trent? Astros -1.5, Rangers, ML, and Wazzu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Rangers, dude.
Give me a shot with the Rangers.
Where do you want your shot? I'll let you control because you have, I guess, 2 options outside of Wazzu.
Yeah.
Where do you want your shot?
Give me a shot with the Rangers.
DeGrom. Put it in.
Chat.
I actually like it. I mean, I'm gonna tail it. I'm gonna tail it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go Rays first 5 ML, San Jose State spreads, Syracuse spreads, and Rangers ML. 4 plays, 4 winners, chat. Get involved. Click the right button. Click the play that you know in your fucking gut and your stones is smacking. It's that simple. Okay, click the fucking winner. Click the right button. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitter, that's awesome. That's great. That's cool. Get over to the fucking Twitch chats. Click your fucking vote in the poll. It's about to go away here in 2 minutes. All right, in the Twitch chat. Get involved. Don't just sit there. Don't just be listening off to the side while you're doing some work. This is the time to lock in. Unlock the iPads. Don't just listen on the earphones. Get involved in the poll.
Come on, Chad.
Get fucking involved.
Might be close to giving Trent a shot.
Give me a fucking shot, Chad. Come on.
Oh man, I don't even know what to root for. Say,
I wouldn't mind giving Trent a shot, dude.
He wants a shot. Look,
oh my god!
And they're splooging.
Chad, are we really giving him a shot? Are we really giving him a shot?
While we're letting this marinate, I feel like this is a good chance to turn the tides. I know you've been on here for a minute, but maybe we do run polls today, at least for tomorrow.
You want to do Saturday?
At least Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday,
NFL changes a little bit more. So
down to
it's
do
kind of
Saturdays
wait.
for college football tomorrow after this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ray's first 5 ML has 2 votes. Good.
That's gonna be
Nice.
2 votes.
2 votes.
just
And
crazy
Play has
fact.
58. Does that make sense, right? That's the world we live in.
I will say it's probably because it's not just because of the disrespect on your plays, but it's a first 5 too, and people hate the Rays.
Chat, come on, vote for Cuse, man. I'm not ready for this pressure.
Tread, bro. No way we're folding this
No,
quickly.
I'm not folding, dude. I'm not folding. I'm
I
ready.
was
for
so
it, dude.
sold on giving you a shot.
No, I want the shot. Give me my shots. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
Got his-
Yeah.
Got his shot.
Jesus Christ. Chat.
Wow.
Oh, Nelly.
Dude,
Trent gets his shots. I don't know how I feel about it. Actually, I do. I don't like it, but it is what it is. We're here, and
Give
that's
me
the
a
squad ride
shot.
for today. And I hope I'm jinxing it into a squad ride W. Okay, I really do. And you know what? I like that play better than the others on his slate. I like that play better than his plays on the Sharp Report the other day, although he did go 5-0 on that day. Yeah, I like this DeGrom angle better than the first one from last week, at least. We'll see how it plays out. All right, maybe his strikeouts is that high for a reason today. All right, maybe the Rangers on the ML, at home with the best pitcher on earth that we've ever seen in the last 20 years of baseball history. Maybe at -120, that's just free today. We're about to find out.
We can only hope.
I hope so, man. And hey, we were on the Mariners yesterday. They cashed. And
Yeah.
maybe it's time for us to hop off that train. And they are, the Rangers are catching 5-10 cents of steam. So we'll see what happens. Kirby has not been sharp. Kirby's kind of in his Mackenzie Gore era right now, where every once in a while he has a good start out there, but overall he's been kind of taking a step back this season. I've seen worse plays. I have.
A lot worse place.
I've seen worse.
Lot worse
Trent, we'll
plays.
see what happens. I'm going to be so pissed if it loses, though.
You might have to. You
Super
might.
fast.
You might be legally required to be on sweats now for that shit.
But if it hits,
I'll be
your
there.
flowers will be given.
yeah,
Okay?
a lot of flowers. Whole
I-
garden. Whole
I must-
garden, man.
I must have missed when we discussed this game.
Hmm.
Illinois, Nebraska.
We kind of both said we like the other games better,
Yeah.
but they're 2 games at the same exact number. I'm taking the favorite
think-
in one. I'm probably not taking the dog in the other.
Bro, Nebraska's
Dude,
up to
yes.
-9.
I know it's the same number now.
Yes. Give me Illinois, bro.
Yeah.
It's definitely Illinois as a side. Yeah, has to be. And Faden Rayola, who thinks he's fucking him already.
That
Little
shit's
is that kid
fucking
now.
whack. Oh, yeah, we did talk about that.
Could be a wake-up call today for Rayola at home against an actual solid defense for once this season.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right.
see.
Well, let's quickly try and do college football squad ride
Okay.
poll.
College football squad ride poll.
Executive decision. We're not taking a single over in here because that's been cake. All the other plays free game though. Not that I thought we were going to take one probably in the vote anyway. Unless you really were in love with Fresno State, New Mexico.
No, I'm not. My favorite plays from the Sharp Report for college that we could put in there potentially for the squad ride votes. My 2 dogs. I'm absolutely in love with my 2 dogs.
Love the Vandy play.
Miami of Ohio plus 27.5 against the Irish, and Vanderbilt and Diago Pavia plus 20.5 against Josh's Mizzou Tigers.
Love. I was going to say the same
I'm
thing.
obsessed with those plays.
Navy and BYU, both my dogs for me. And Trent, if Trent's got a donkey meat whale in college.
The under in the OU game.
Okay.
Could be in for
Yeah.
that.
I really hope I hope Oklahoma doesn't splooge and win the game outright. And I think it's the right play. And I love fading Tennessee's offense this week. Let's put that in there. That was your best sell job as well for your college plays.
If the squad ride loses tonight, I'll fucking buy this and wear it for a week.
Dipped.
Bro,
Come on, bro.
you can do that shit
Get
anyway,
that
man.
out of here, dude.
That's
Jeez.
the worst hat ever, bro. Who the fuck
Yeah.
buys that?
Money line. That's
BYU,
like when Goots named his fantasy team.
BYU plus
Goots.
7.
Just Goots. One word. Money line. I fucking love that team name, Gootsy. We got the poll up. 5 plays, 5 winners for the Saturday squad ride. Get involved, chat. Don't just sit there. Do not just fucking sit there doing your work with your little iPad off to the side, listening to BTL. Now is the
Dude.
time to log in, go to the Twitch poll.
I might have to give Krabs a
click the right
shot with
button.
Vandy, dude. I feel like that's screaming.
I love both my plays. We'll see what the chat thinks here. BYU out to an early lead. Tennessee under.
Back-to-back trend shots could be crazy.
Yeah. It sucks that people would rather troll than hit bets and make money, but that's why we're sharp and we make coins, and that's why they're in the chat. I would love to see the best sell jobs and the best plays be voted for, and that chirp could have been the difference there as Vanderbilt gets out to a massive
Got him up
lead.
and moving.
There we go.
I feel like this is how we need to start the weekend, though. Krabs meat on table play that I am in love with. I love. And we're fading Mizzou, fading Josh and Nick. I mean, what better start to the weekend?
Yeah. Krabs, I want to hear, could be NFL, it could be college football, it could be PrizePicks. One pick to save your fucking life for the weekend. What is it?
One pick to save my fucking life this weekend. It's got to be Vanderbilt plus 20.5 and Diago Pavia against Mizzou. I hate to see it. That's my meat on tape college play. Typically, I like NFL a little bit more, but this weekend, there's something about the Vanderbilt Commodores. Is that their fucking stupid mascot?
Yeah.
I think so, right? Something about the Commodores on the roads after getting upset by Georgia State against a Mizzou team that's good, a Mizzou team that's hyped, but a Mizzou team that has not impressed me too much yet, and I feel like this could be a sneaky little spot to back Vandy with the points on the road coming in off a bad loss. I'm obsessed with Vandy with the points. I'm obsessed with Diago Pavia and this Vanderbilt program that keeps getting better. They got some better coaches on that sidelines. The program is growing. They're rebuilding the stadium. NIL, Vanderbilt, handshake, right? One of those tweets. That's a combo right now that's growing. And they're going to show that this weekend when they keep this game within 10 points.
Just say you give Krabs a shot, dude.
There we go, dude.
You give Krabs a shot.
Jovan.
Sir.
One play, life on the line. Only way to stay alive is it turns green. PrizePicks, book play, NFL, college football, doesn't matter. What is it?
If Malik Willis plays, life on the line for Titans. If it ends up being Jordan Love, the answer will be Jordan Whittington receiving yards or some combo there.
No way you're going with Whittington.
Yes, I am. I'm going there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I could tell you're confident in that. You love that square. You've been talking about that all day.
Very confident.
All right, chat. If you need a wide receiver in fantasy this week, or maybe you're just trying to make some coins, don't forget about Jordan Whittington. Don't let him get swept. Okay?
Sure, why are you standing up?
I don't know. I needed to stand up. I was sitting for too long.
Okay. Anyways, Trent's standing up now.
Dude,
randomly.
it's like when he was playing 2K the other night.
We'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Bro.
Legs are getting tired. Sure. WBTL Megalodon app. W Trent, W Jovan, W Chat, W Joshy, W Nick over here chilling. Listening to us fade as Mizzou Tigers. He's probably pissed, but that's okay. Yeah, Vanderbilt. Did that win the poll?
It did.
Okay.
It did.
Okay. Hey, you guys will win the game outright. You will. But Diago Pavia season, man. It's time.
10-point game. 10-point game.
Mm-hmm. I bet. Chat, W day, W episode. I hope you guys all hit all your fucking bets tonight, and I hope you tune into the Sweats for Jovan's MLB season-long goat whale that we got to finish up tonight, and we got to see some Zach Gallen turkeys. Okay?
Please.
Let's get some Zach Gallen turkeys up and moving tonight. Be there for Sweats or be fucking square, and we'll catch you guys at the cash counter when the squad ride tonight smacks as well. We're going with Trent's play. Rangers ML.
Let's fucking go.
Give the kid a shot.
Give the kid a goddamn chance. We'll be seeing.
Will be.
Peace.